all are back at it. Second episode of the year. Bangers back to back, right? First week we got Spider-Man, Hawkeye, and then this week we have, what do we have? Okay, I see what we have. Ghostbusters, Death's Door, TheWeeknd, The Matrix. Yo, we're putting in work. By work, I mean sitting down and digesting. I mean that's usually enough, right? Yeah, I'm not sure why Discord or it's my PC or something, but it's like it keeps like dropping or lowering the frames. So like our video cameras looks like it's from 30 down to 20 or something.
Mine's doing the same thing. So while you're talking or randomly, I'll see it looks like 3 frames an hour for the background and me like choppy, and then when you called it out just now, it went back to normal.
Yeah, that's what's been happening. Every time I look at it, I'm like, why are you doing that? And it's like, oh, my bad, sir. So that's what we're doing. Anywho, the voice you just heard was Brian's joining us this week. We got Randall as well. No Cam yet, but he's working on it. Say hi, Randall.
What's up?
Wave at the camera, Randall.
Wave at the camera right now. Ah, great guy. Weird is gonna be on I guess what's the term? Paternity leave, right? Would be the term, I guess. He got a kid coming up, so he has more, higher responsibilities than sitting here for 2 to 3 hours shitting on each other, right? So yeah, well, when he comes back, he'll come back with a bang. I'm sure he'll watch a bunch during the time he's out. He'll have like a long ass. We're just gonna dedicate an entire episode. So what did he do, right? What is Papa life now? He will guide us the way Jim Carrey guided us to the afterlife. Anyway, how was you guys' weekend?
Short.
You mean it felt shorter than usual because of the holiday weekend?
Yeah, I don't even know what. Like I blinked and then I was waking up on Sunday. That's what it feels like. I don't know why work weeks feel like forever, and then the second you're off, you're getting ready to go to work again.
Yep.
Doesn't make any sense.
That's adult life. That's what that is.
Yeah, if there's there's all the kids watch this, millions of kids in all ranges.
Yeah.
Don't enjoy not having to do shit as a kid. You just do whatever you want, and don't have to deal with any adulthood. You just cherish that.
Cherish landing on Fortnite for 12 hours a day, right?
Mm-hmm. Fuck me. Oh, I want to be able to drive or whatever. Hey, I want alcohol 21.
You don't want that.
You don't. It's who cares?
Yeah.
All right.
You can get high off of sugar, right? Actually, that's not a good thing to say because you can get like severe health issues by eating a lot of sugar. But you know what I mean,
right? You know when you get money for your birthday, you can spend that whenever you want, and it'll always be there. Cherish that.
You have a fixed yearly income.
Yeah, being an adult fucking sucks, kids.
And everyone's like, see, Mom, I knew it. I'm going to be a kid forever.
Shoot for that. As a kid, use all your hours finding a way to always look like a kid so you wouldn't have to, you can pretend to be a kid always.
But now, I don't know if that's a long run kind of plan because unfortunately people have, expiration dates. So like when you have to pay for the house you're in, what's going to happen?
So what you do? No. So there's multiple ways you can do this, kids. Right?
Okay.
You either find a way that you go back and only your soul goes back in time, right? And then you go into your body when you're born again, and then you keep reliving this loop of immortality.
Okay.
Just do that.
I'm down for that.
And actually, don't even wait until you're old. The second, just like, oh, okay, well, here's your job, here's your 9 to 5 or whatever. When bills get into play, when they introduce the bills patch. That's when you go back.
Yeah, revert.
Say no, thank you.
Yep, revert. Stash these changes. Thank you. I'm gonna stick with bill free patch.
Play light vanilla life.
Yeah, vanilla life.
Once you get into bills patch, don't go back.
That turns into Sekiro difficulty.
Yeah. Yeah. What I do this weekend, I started and finished the game.
Is that
Actually, no, I
Death's Door?
started
I'm assuming.
Death Story.
Yeah.
I started that last week, actually.
Oh, okay.
I think. Yeah, I
Now, was
started it
it
last
because
week.
you put in a ton of hours, or is it because it was short?
It's not that long. It's like maybe like at most 10 hours. I didn't 100% it either, but I beat the story.
Okay.
Do I just go into it?
No, I was gonna list out what we're gonna be
Okay.
talking about, and then we'll circle
Um,
around, right?
that was my weekend. I think I played. I don't remember. I played other things. I, I blinked and then my weekend was gone. Essentially.
That happens. What is that? Okay, that kind of what was happened to me. Friday obviously was not work as usual, but I had like a date. I have a meeting every Friday morning, so I'm like, when can this meeting end so I can load the album up, right? Then it finally ended, so I started listening to it while I was working regularly, coding. I'm like, shit, this thing feels great so far. We'll talk about it later, but TheWeeknd released he just dropped his album. He's like, you know what? Let's just drop it first week. God bless him. Listened to that on Friday, worked out to it. I've heard it like throughout Friday alone. I think I heard it like 4 to 6 times because it was just on loop. The album. It's like one long ass track to me. What do we do Friday night? Oh my god, that's exactly what we're talking about. I fuck if I know, right?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Kids, you're at the prime part of life, right?
Yeah, like
you're at the early access. You didn't even have to buy the game essentially, because right now it's just free. So
Yep.
someone gifted you a copy, and it came with beta access, open beta.
You get an entire season pass, no extra charge.
When the game comes out, kids, boy, I hope you labbed that beta.
What the fuck did I do Friday night? I don't remember. Friday night's question mark. I don't know what the fuck happened. Saturday we finally went ahead and I took off the door on my bathroom, the shower, have been slowly detaching because it's like held on by a hinge, right? And then where the door actually turned, it's like a weird sticky magnetic thing that's not like, it was slowly like falling over like this. So then rip that out and just put a curtain on it for now. It's super ghetto, but showering in it like 2 days now. I'm like, thank God we did that. Not having to worry about a fucking door that might come back and cut my ankles. Excellent.
It's not like, leaving hilarious amount of water everywhere.
No, not because I put the lined curtain inside and then like a pattern on the outside. So the water just hits the line thing and just drops back in. Before,
do you feel like you're more murder prone now?
Yes, absolutely. Now I can definitely be murdered. Before I can see through, but right now we have the see through thing that catches the water and then like something on the outside. Because of the thing on the outside, a knife can come right through.
Yeah, you're murdered. Yeah, I would think every time I got into the shower, this is the last shower I ever had.
That's what I did today before I came on this podcast. I'm like, this is it. I might not make episode 174, right? This is it. And then, thankfully, I walked out with my boner intact. So, right, Randall?
He was there with you?
No, but he understands the feeling of walking out boner ready to go.
Okay.
He's a man of class, so,
I mean, I heard he's a man of ass.
And
he's an ass play enthusiast.
Oh, yeah. That's still out for debate. But what else? Yeah, after we did that, obviously some errands and shit with getting a long cut, things like that. What else did I do Saturday night? And then I think Saturday night is when we started watching Ghostbusters, Afterlife, which we'll get into later. And man, Randall said it to me before we finished watching the show. It's like, if we would have watched it earlier, this would have easily been in our bracket fight and probably would have made it far. And it sucks because it came out like November, like mid-November, but it was theaters only, right? Is that what the problem was, Randall? It wasn't on digital for us to watch? Yeah. We should. That's one of those things where I'm like, damn, we should just gone to the theaters and
that's the one with the kid from Stranger Things, right? Finn Wolfhard?
Yeah. But he's not the main.
That's his name, right?
Yes, you got it right. Finn Wolfhard.
Okay.
But he's not the main,
I said it
dude.
With confidence, and after I said, I'm like, that sounds like a porn name.
That kid might go into porn. You never know. You don't know what he's packing.
I don't.
So
I don't know how old he is, so I feel weird hearing that.
that's also true. So when you hear this, Finn, because we know you're listening and or watching. No beef.
He's 19.
He's 19? All right, cool. So we can just say everything we just said. It's fine. So we watched that last night, and then yesterday we watched French Dispatch, the latest Wes Anderson film, which we'll probably talk about next week. I don't want to I have a list full of things we need to talk about on the podcast. I'm not going to just pick a 6-hour episode podcast, so a lot of buffer. Anywho. And then we also started an Apple TV show called The Shrink Next Door, which is, I'll talk about, I guess, in a future episode, but it's starring Paul Rudd and Will Ferrell. So far, so good, but we haven't finished it. But it's one of those, we'll get to it, I guess, when I finish it, I'll review it. What's up, Brian? You got like a pog champ face.
I saw that the Midnight Alley movie came out in December, so it could count for 2022. I haven't seen it yet, but I was very interested.
Same. Like, that's in our backlog. I don't know if it's out digitally yet. I know it's out in theaters.
I think it is. I don't know. I don't know anything, to be honest with you.
But that's definitely one I was looking forward to. That's the Guillermo del Toro movie, I think it is.
I don't remember.
Nightmare Alley.
I'll collect it. I'll tell you. Directed by Guillermo.
Yeah. There's certain directors you just follow and wait for. Guy Ritchie, Wes Anderson, Guillermo, Quentin Tarantino. Like, hey, they dropped a new album. Was it
Guillermo that made Pan's Labyrinth?
Yes.
Okay, it was.
Yes. He also made the Shape of Water. Yeah. If you haven't seen that shit's dope.
How many movies he's directed? Now I'm curious.
He's done quite a lot. And they've all been very entertaining films.
He did the second Blade.
Did he? Oh.
I didn't know that, apparently. And then he did he did Hellboy 1 and 2. Not the
I know, the originals with Perlman.
Yeah, the Pan's Labyrinth was between those. Pacific Rim, the first one.
Yeah.
I didn't realize that. Shape of Water, Nightmare Alley. He has a Pinocchio movie coming out.
Oh, it's in development?
Yeah, Netflix movie.
Interesting. I wonder if he's going to make it into like a dark, twisted version of the story. That'd
be cool. I've always wondered why they make like that video game for Alice. They made a dark version of that, but not Pinocchio. The one about a kid, a person that thinks he's a real kid, but he's a doll.
Yeah.
That can get real dark.
Real quick. That is true. They did make an Alice game. I completely forgot about that.
I think people liked it. I never played it, but
me neither. Backlog. I'm kidding. I have plenty to do. And I just keep adding fucking XCOM games to my backlog and playing it.
After I beat Death's Door, I just had a few friends of mine tell me what game on my backlog they want to see, and then I spun a wheel and it landed on Guardians. So I started that for a bit. I don't know why. It was running like dog ass yesterday when I started it.
You probably have ray tracing on.
Yeah, I turned it off, but I had to restart it.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where I got to a cutscene and it said loading, and then it just showed parts of a ship and then someone just standing there. And it wouldn't proceed. So I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm done playing for today.
Oh, that's fucking weird. Only thing I can think of is maybe shader cache limitation or something.
I don't know. I'm probably just gonna load up the NVIDIA thing and just have it choose my settings and then just play it. I guess it's my new thing. I'm just gonna whatever NVIDIA says is the settings I play with. That's what I play with.
Well, that I wouldn't go by that because you set what you want. If you want more quality or more performance, and then it just selects your settings. That's not going to be.
I have mine in the middle or something. I don't even know. I don't know. I'm just saying shit at this point. Kids.
When you're at the point where you're just saying shit, go back. Revert changes. You know everything when you're 12. All right.
Kids, never stop just saying shit. Right? Flex your creativity, kids.
Yeah.
Because the second bills just diminish that, go back to vanilla life.
Facts, right?
Mm-hmm.
Anywho, I think that's it for my weekend, pretty much. Randall, what were you doing? You were just like back-to-back movies or what?
I don't know if I watched any movies this weekend. I can't remember if I did.
Randall, I do need to cut you off. Because I remember what we did Friday night. Friday night, me and Janana were here just playing games, like booling. But we can hear Randall from the other room. Now I remember what I did Friday. Because there was one moment. You ever hear someone go, like, man, right? Like something devastating happened and they can't stop it.
Mm-hmm.
Now imagine the DAG version of that.
What? Dad.
Brian, from here, me and Danielle heard DAG. And we looked at each other and we're like, that man's going through it right now. And we laughed for like 2 minutes straight. So Randall, I know you were playing Tekken Friday night. That's why I can't remember what happened Friday night. Go ahead, sorry to cut you off.
I played some Tekken and I didn't really do much. Actually, this weekend was if I had to put a theme on it, I would say reflect. I did a lot of reflecting. I got
A lot of blocking.
Huh?
A lot of blocking.
You reflected and then you blocked.
I got some not so pleasant news from things going on with my family, so I sat here doing a lot of thinking, and then I like listen to audiobooks a lot. So I was listening to this one lady called Mel Robbins. You might have heard like a quote that she said in one of her speeches. Like she did a TED talk, but she's famous for like that speech where she says no one's coming. I don't know if you guys ever heard that before.
I may have. But I don't know off the. Like I've heard a lot of people say no one's coming, but I'm assuming that's part of like a larger.
Yeah, it was her. It was her speech.
Okay.
That she did a TED talk. I mean, she's done several speeches, motivational speeches, but that particular one was on TED Talk. So I've been listening to her. Like she has 2 books, and I was listening to one of them called The 5-Second Rule. I did some cleaning up. I'm still doing that actually. Cleaning and throwing stuff away, trying to get rid of as much stuff as possible. It's like whenever I get something new. So in the case of like the gift that you got me, because it's something new, I've always been like this ever since I was like really young. Anytime I get something new, I feel like I need to clean and throw stuff away before I can open it. It's kind of like a Toy Story or something. Like I'm introducing this new item to the rest
fam.
of the electronics. So that's pretty much all I did this weekend.
Okay. All right, that's cool. Well, all right. So now the hard part is where do we begin, right? Do we leave?
I'll start with the weekend.
You think so? Okay. Well, we'd like to welcome everyone to this experience on 103.5 Dawn FM. TheWeeknd dropped an album, as I mentioned earlier. Mostly. Oh, Kelsey in the chat. When he going to clean up his act and stream? Randall, your thoughts?
I'm sorry, said it. I didn't hear what you said.
Kelsey said in our live chat, when are you going to clean up your act and stream? Because you're cleaning stuff around.
Right now I'm just waiting to get my camera. Once I get my camera, then I mean I can still stream like without a camera, but I don't know. I kind of want to be on camera. That's kind of like the whole purpose of it.
Are you gonna flex? Are you gonna wear like muscle tees?
Nah. I mean, I'm gonna make sure I look legit though, but
okay. You get like a
nice
I'm not
fade. Gonna do. Yeah, I'm make sure my cut is always clean.
I don't wax his balls.
Okay, I don't know if that's gonna be on camera, but he said wax your balls.
Hey, sometimes you do things below the belt. It makes you feel smooth, Okay. Kids.
We want that sexy beast on camera too. Going to be looking fly in a 3-piece suit. I don't know if this house is welcoming 3-piece suits. Like, it gets hot in this place, especially in the middle of the day, even with
I don't
AC
know.
on.
I'm usually cold, but that's probably because I'm dead inside.
Anywho, what are we going to? The Weeknd's album. Thank you. I guess to preface everything, huge fanboy sitting here, myself. So take my review of this with a grain of salt. Brian's more objective, I'd imagine, with his stuff. So, but I think everyone here is a fan of his previous work, so take that with a grain of salt. Anywho,
Most of his previous work.
yes, that's right. You absolutely hate Kissland.
Mm-hmm.
But that's fair. Okay. I don't even know where to begin. So he drops this album. Thematically, it's a radio station hosted by Jim Carrey. And it's him prepping the listener to cross over to the afterlife. I mean, Brian, correct, keep me honest, I guess. So as we're hearing this, he's guiding you, or basically relaxing you in some way to cross over.
It's essentially, and I'm gonna preface this with saying that I didn't understand the afterlife part of the album until like the second listen. At first, I thought it was just like a blast from the past, 70s or 80s, just radio station.
Uh-huh.
And it's just playing hits like a time capsule kind of thing. But then it seems like his previous album, After Hours, ends with what it seems like narrative wise, the character of that album dies.
Mm-hmm.
This seems like he hasn't gone to the afterlife yet. He's in purgatory, waiting to see if he goes to heaven or hell or something. This is okay. So that's basically what it is. This is the waiting room for the afterlife, and while you're waiting to be sent wherever you're supposed to go, they have a radio station there to relax, just keep you at ease while it's happening.
Yes, sir.
And that's what this album is.
And shout out to Jim Carrey. Because holy shit, when I first saw the trailer for who was going to be in it, and I saw Jim Carrey, I'm like, is he going to be in a skit or something? No, he's just throughout the album, just a narrating. And he also has his own, like, track at the end where he reads, I don't know if he wrote the poem or not, but he recites an entire poem for a track, and awesome work. He has a very soothing voice, and it's very calm. Bless you, Brian. He did just a great job. As a body of work, I think this is his most concise one, where everything fits together. Everything sounds like it's for this album. It's the style, the way he uses the synth, the guitar riffs, everything seems like he put it into this. And when I heard it for like a fifth time, I'm like, I wonder if his time with Calvin Harris for that one track sparked this, because he has like a very 80s sounding track. I forgot what it was called, with Calvin Harris that he released a while back, and not, it had some radio play, I think, but it wasn't.
You talking about the one that the one is like she's still thinking about him or whatever. Is that Calvin? No, that's Swedish House Mafia. The one I'm thinking of is Swedish House Mafia.
That's Moth in the Flame. Yeah.
That's what I'm thinking.
I'm talking about the hold on, Calvin Harris Weekend.
I don't even know if I've heard the one you're talking
You
about.
have. There we go. It's over now. It's over now. Like, it's a very slower. It came out during the whole After Hours rollout, so I don't know. It has that very similar pace, slow song. Like in the middle section of this album, we know how Jim Carrey's like, and here's some like couple tracks to ease your mind, like the slower tracks, and it introduces the smooth tracks. Like, if this sounded like it fit right in there, but it might have just been a Calvin Harris track. But anyway, I don't even know what else to talk about. It's a very 80s. There's some 90s freestyle type-ish tracks on here that I'm like, okay, I wonder if he's gonna he's been doing 80s sounds since Starboy, right? In terms of like synth and things like that. So I wonder if this is like for Afterlife, the next album, which we think is gonna be called, he might be transitioning to 90s sounding music, 90s R&B. I don't know. That's just me speculating. Anyway, because the track I'm talking about, Brian. I forgot which one it was. It's like a freestyle type of.
It's part of Angels Are Terrifying, where he breaks into that and then he does the ad.
Oh, okay. I thought there was an actual track. What was after? I thought "Don't Break My Heart" was the freestyle track. Again,
I'm
it
trying to
doesn't
remember
matter.
what that sounds like. Don't break my heart.
Yeah, if you have to go give that a play, you can give it up. But I thought that was the one that
Don't Break My Heart to me sounds more like it sounded when I first heard it sounded like Bo Burnham.
oh yeah,
The style in which he starts singing.
yeah, that's true.
It definitely sounds like a early '90s to 2000s. Just pop R&B kind of stuff that you'd hear
Okay.
more so than freestyle to me. If it was quicker, if it was a little quicker, I would see it.
I see. I mean, closing thoughts for me, like I liked a lot of these tracks. The standout one for me is definitely Out of Time, Less Than Zero, and of course Take My Breath. That came out as a single a while back, and I was in. I'm like, he's gonna continue with this 80s synth like super groovy tone. I'm down. Not to say that the rest of these are like, oh, so far below. There's a lot of great moments in the tracks. If you were quicker, you could play basketball. Yo, those are facts for me. I don't have the speed for that. Like if you give me 20 minutes to do one shot, I could probably be the best basketball player. But I don't have that kind of speed. Oh, okay. So yeah, those were the highs. The lows for me, as much as I loved Tyler the Creator and even Lil Wayne's part, I could have done without it. This could have been an only TheWeeknd album, like a lot. I think what was the last album he did it with no features? Was it Kissland?
I feel like Kissland had a feature.
It did. It had Drake.
Yeah, it did. It's just that I live for. Isn't that on there?
Yeah, that's what Drake's on. Then I don't think I don't think he's had a completely solo project. Oh, Melancholy.
No.
My Dear Melancholy.
No, because he had what's his name in there. Produced one of the songs, I think.
Geffelstein. Yes, yeah, that. Sorry. Then I mean, I would have loved this to be that, like Jim Carrey just narrating and then him having the rest, like all of the tracks. Not that their parts were bad. It's just that TheWeeknd's part on its own made me like the song. Like the features, like Tyler the Creator or Lil Wayne, didn't make it worse. It just didn't make it better, right? Like I'm like, oh, he's on, his verse killed. Like I could have just done without them and be fine.
Mm-hmm.
But again, it's great to listen to. Like even when Tyler's part comes on during Here We Go Again, because he goes in from like that ballad chorus and then bam, Tyler Creator goes in and spits some bars. And I think same with Lil Wayne. Like he comes in after like a chorus, says his bars real quick, gets out. We're back to TheWeeknd singing his life away, right? You guys are great to listen to. I appreciate that. Oh, you got some kisses too. Okay, for the audio listeners, Brian just threw a kiss to chat.
I throw it at all of them.
All right, kids, those kisses are for you.
Kids, listen here. Love unconditional.
Yeah. I think that's my biggest complaint is that it's just it's not even really a complaint. It's just nitpicking. I wish he has a track of, like he maybe in the future releases like a version of the track without it. I did like the changes to Take My Breath because it's different than the single version.
I prefer it,
and I like it more because it gives it the time to build up the way it needs to. Like in the single version, it goes right into what is it? Damn, what's the first line? See it in your eyes or something, right?
Something like that.
Yeah. I see the fire in your eyes. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Here's a nice like electronic build up. Take my breath, and he just throws in the chorus, and it builds up to like literally he cuts it, and then bam, that first line. I see the fire in her eyes. Bam, the fucking thing comes in when it needs to. The instrumental. Go ahead, Brett.
What I like about it is that a lot of like funk songs in the 80s or 90s and a lot of like electronic music would just let the beat go off. This is what I picture in my head, right? Whoever's producing, whoever's playing the instruments, they're just riffing, right? Waiting for the singer to get into the room. He's over here, he does a quick line, daps up the bouncer, gets in there, fixes their suit, and then they just start saying what they gotta say.
You said what you just said to me doesn't make any sense because it's like they're in the building, they do the coke, they walk outside to dap up the bouncer, they come back inside. Yeah,
they're on drugs.
Okay, you're right. That's funny. But But yeah, it's definitely like that build up, and he even like gave space between the one of the choruses, and when he goes oh oh, like he again like the letting the beat ride out, he did that perfectly. Not perfectly. It just it's nothing perfect, obviously, but it just very very well done. I haven't seen the music video for Sacrifice. He dropped it sometime this weekend. I haven't gotten a chance to watch it, so we'll see
Haven't
what
seen any of the videos.
I usually like to watch the videos as well. It doesn't have to make sense. It just has to cheese waffles. Sure.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what that means, but I'm supporting you 100%.
Exactly. That's a bar because he said it doesn't have to make sense, and then he dropped the line right after.
I got
It's
you.
in the play-by-play.
I appreciate the play-by-play.
Yeah, no problem.
That's it. That's all the gush I have. Like it's a because it's so they made so much work. They put in so much work in making this sound like a good hour of like a segment on the radio. Like it's you can listen to it from beginning to end all the time. There's tracks you'll find that you love a lot that you can't wait to hear on this video segment, and then there's times where you're like, okay, these are fine, but there's not like, oh, I didn't find one on here that I have to skip. But then again, granted, like I said before, fan of the Weeknd, huge fan of the Weeknd. I can listen to all of his stuff. Not all of his stuff. I'm sorry. The Maluma song, no, or the Hispanic shit that he made, no, not a fan of that. Brian is picking up what I'm putting down. I'm buying what you're selling. Okay. I'm sure there's other thoughts I wanted to say on here before. I just started writing these down.
I used to.
Yeah. I think I already mentioned my top 3. I mean, you guys haven't spoken. It's just been me. Brandon, what are your thoughts? I didn't know you listened to the album until I saw the doc. What are your thoughts here? I know you love the 80s stuff, so I'm sure this was right up your alley.
So, yeah, I'm going to preface this by saying, it might be difficult for some people to hear, but this is my favorite Weeknd album.
Oh, and shit.
It's because of that. Anyone who knows me very well knows that I love
the
80s synth wave.
Yeah.
Trance, any of that stuff. And this album is pure synth waves 80s. And I love 90. I mean, I don't, like you said, I don't think I can, off the top of my head, I can't pick a song that I didn't like. I agree with you guys with the whole Lil Wayne thing. Like I was like, why?
Yeah.
But the thing that so I don't have like a particular order of things that I like, so I'm just probably gonna just spitball for a little bit. One of the things that I love so much is like you guys, pretty much what you guys already mentioned was like the radio intermissions. I thought that was a really cool addition. Like, I thought it was like really funny and different because I don't think I've ever heard anything like that on an album. Mm-hmm. Like one of my favorite ones was the
advertisement.
Yeah, when he was like intense, graphic, sexy, euphoric, provocative, edgy, thought-provoking.
So and so says
visually stunning. Yeah. That jump was funny, and then it was like a play on. I don't know if it was like done on purpose, but you know, like. Whenever they do a phone number in movies, there's always a 5.
Yeah.
It's like 555. But in his radio, it was like 1-800-444-4444.
That's 1-800-444-4444.
Yeah. That was I thought that was really cool, and I think it added to
the whole album, the whole project.
Yeah, the experience. As far as songs that I liked, the first one that jumped out at me was Sacrifice because it reminded me of that song by Alicia Myers. I think it's called I Want to Thank You.
Okay.
I actually think that song was sampled from that. So that was like the first song that jumped out at me. I like Gasoline. Here We Go. That jump was funny at the end when he was like, "You're going to sign this prenup."
Yeah.
He kept saying it over and over. That joke was really funny. What else?
Speaking of Sacrifice, real quick, did you guys like the way he says discotheque?
Yes, there's so many small things like there's like the discotheque. Like there's so emphasis on that time period that it's like it's good.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Brian. I cut you off there.
No, I was gonna say a sentence, but I'll rant about this
Okay,
on my turn.
gotcha. Go ahead, Randall.
What else? Oh, I think is there someone else? I loved how like it ended, but then it didn't end and went to the next track. I was like, wait a minute. This is the next track, but the song was still going.
Yeah,
So I that's one of the things I also loved. There was like a lot of seamless transitions. Like it would like the songs would like bleed into the next track.
yeah.
Even and I know you guys said y'all didn't watch the videos, but they did the same thing with that
Sacrifice.
poem that Jim Carrey did.
The Phantom Regret.
Yeah, like that bleeds into the
Less than zero.
Take My Breath video.
Oh, it
It
does.
like goes right into it. Like it literally as soon as the song ends, the video starts.
Oh,
Matter of fact, I think the song like starts at the very end of the poem. So it's still playing on that track where the poem is playing, and then the video comes on. So
'Cause-
they did. My bad. Go ahead.
no, because they also did the bleeding stuff within this album. So like A Tale by
Yeah.
Quincy, when Quincy Jones was talking about his upbringing and like raising children and things like that, you hear
Yeah.
the Out of Time in the background.
Yeah.
About to start, and then Out of Time starts right after, and then same with the Phantom Regret. If you listen to it's like a slowed version of Less Than Zero.
Yeah.
It's the same instrumental, but they slow it down, or they modify it, and then the poem starts.
Also with the how do I make you love me? It transitioned to Take My Breath.
Yeah, right into it, because it's like the song ends slowly, and then it starts picking up that the build up, and then bam, Take My Breath starts.
I see the fire in your eyes. Is what it says. I played the song in my head and I remember what he said.
Yeah, he first yells out "Take my breath," and then more build up of the instrumental until he cuts until the drop, and then it's like "See the fire in your eyes." Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it is definitely that. Like I'm in the garage now since Friday, working out and just doing extra cardio workout, just dancing, doing weird shit. Like if you know how they have in Arrested Development, they have him practicing the lightsaber in the garage as film. That I have the equivalent of that if someone were to record me without me knowing.
I was doing that today while I was working out as well.
It's just a fun ride. Go ahead, Randall. I keep cutting everybody off.
Oh no, that's cool. I think we're all just vibing. Another song that I like was Less Than Zero.
Yes.
When I first heard that song, like at the beginning, it immediately made it sounded like the song that you will play at the ending, like the rolling credits at the end of a movie.
Mm-hmm.
But what really won me over was the chorus.
Yes, the
Like
heads.
I really love the chorus.
Mm.
And I think I already mentioned the poem by Jim, because I used to write poetry back in the day, and I mean I still kind of write now, but I haven't wrote anything recently. But I love poetry, so I really like that. I
Like,
think
right-
that's pretty much everything.
Once I heard that last track was when Jim Carrey's doing the spoken word thing, I had to look. I'm like, did he write all of it? And then, I mean, the credit goes to Abel, Jim Carrey as well, and some other people. So I don't know how much of it he wrote, but his delivery of it was just so on brand for this album, right? Sonically, I guess if that's even the term I can describe it with, like everything sounded so put together.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Yeah, man. This is definitely. I love this album, man. It's good music, like good lyrics by someone who can sing extremely well, with the theme of a period that I grew up in that I love very much, and because I love synthwave and I love the '80s. It's like everything combined, and I mean, who doesn't like Jim Carrey? So you put all of that stuff into one thing. It's just, I mean, you have no choice but to love it.
Yeah, I don't, Brian. I think it's you're up, but we pretty much said it. Unless you have something else, right?
This is the second album in a row that kind of confirms my theory. That what happened?
I don't know, but I'm just. It's because you seem like you have the way you said it is like you have a wall filled with like evidence with dots and everything. Like this is the second one now, where so and so did this at 7:43 p.m., which led into the events of January 6th.
Like he's the only person who's like connecting the dots. Everybody else doesn't get it.
Mm-hmm. This is
Go
the
for it.
second album in a row that makes me almost 100% sure I'm a variant of him.
Oh, okay.
The reason I say this one, if you look at me really quickly, I look like him. I mean, not with the homeless beard, but
Abel. Oh, Brian.
I look like him, right? I was just before this album came out, I was going back and listening to older music I made, and there's like 3 to 5 songs that sound like this album.
Oh shit! You should have released it before him. And
Before
then called
After
him a
Hours came
copycat.
out, the music that I was working on sounded like After Hours.
Uh-huh.
So it's as if it's just if I could sing, I would be him. That's my variation of him. If I was less successful and talented,
Uh-huh.
or if he was less successful and talented,
Okay.
it's me.
Well, I mean, you just have to practice singing.
And if he bought Skullgirls, that's me. I'm the Skullgirls
He
variation.
probably has
of-
Skullgirls, Ryan.
I like to think so. I don't know.
I think he's a gamer as well. I don't know if he games as often as us, but I think he actually plays. So
That being said, again, once this album starts, it's literally like this is literally the music that I make or try to make, and then he optimized it. I didn't show him the tech. I've never interacted with him, but
I showed him the tech. I was there, and he's like, "I'll take it. You created this? I created this."
Our first listen, the aesthetic of it's just a what I thought was a nighttime disco funk trance kind of electronic in the 90s kind of capsulated a time capsule or a radio station. That was the premise. I thought it's just, hey, nighttime, go off. Then the second listen, it was when I paid more attention to what I heard Jim whenever he would speak, and then Quincy Jones when he was speaking, but I listened more, and then I'm like, wait, and
Wait.
yeah, and then I remembered I was like, how did After Hours end? It's his character literally dying.
Yep.
And then a song that I wish didn't exist in After Hours, which was that it was basically just as if someone became LSD, and then
That's
the
how
song
good it
just
was.
came out, and I was like, this is unnecessary. Right? I hear this album, and I'm
Uh-huh.
like, even that, I take back what I say. I don't like the song as a song, but as like a transition piece into this. This is still in my head. I was like, I'm just theory crafting as the variant. I'm like, what is this version of me? What was he going for?
Okay.
And I was like,
This is
he's
your music
making.
theory.
Yeah, I was like, he's making a sequel to this. This is a story still.
Uh-huh.
This is him after death.
He's with Charon. I keep saying it. He's just chilling in the boat with Charon. They're going through the river of Styx. You know? Go ahead.
I see it more of not like a river of sticks. I see it as if he's in a doctor's office,
waiting.
and the person that signed, they keep signing all this paper, put out his insurance.
It's Jim Carrey.
The person who took it, the clipboard from him, is Jim Carrey.
Oh,
in my head.
I see that.
He's like, well, why are you sitting here? You know how they, like, when you go to the dentist or you go as a kid, you went to the doctor and they had that TV of just some stupid fucking show that you just look at because it's there.
Yeah, the fucking dog movie with Tim Allen.
With and Robert Downey Jr. is the villain.
Yeah.
A shaggy dog.
Yeah, Shaggy Dog or something. I don't remember.
Yeah,
what
where
the
Tim
movie's
Allen
called.
becomes a dog, and then he spells out to his kids using Scrabble pieces, and like, Dad. That's essentially what I saw in my head. Gasoline immediate. So the first song is essentially just a skit, the intro song.
Uh-huh.
Once I got to Gasoline, I was like, I'm sold. This is the aesthetic. I'm sold. And as the album just kept going and going, I was like, this is great. You get to intermission. I'm like, this is solid. Like, I would stay here and listen to this. It's the same thing as the Facebook story with Frank Ocean and Blonde.
Yeah.
Facebook.
Facebook.
I usually don't care for skit. I mean, in an album listen, I like the skits, but whenever I'm listening to, like, once you get into the shuffle phase of an album, or you just listen to specific songs, they don't serve me any purpose besides maybe a laugh if it's like the broke by broke ones.
Yeah, if it's a funny skit, then you can keep it just for that's
Yeah,
funny and then move
the
on.
Facebook one, it's entertaining, but I also just like the storytelling. Quincy's A Tale by Quincy, the music in the background's good, and what he's saying is just captivating.
Yeah.
Um,
It's something I didn't know about him and his upbringing, about his mom.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, okay.
I didn't know any of that. I know Rashida Jones is his daughter.
Yeah.
The actress,
Yeah.
the comedian. But like, I don't know, hearing him say, hearing all that and then knowing a bit of him, I'm like, that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
And then the transitions in this, again, in an album listen, I love it. It seems like it's one long song, and it's very rare, at least within the music that I listen to, where albums are actually made as albums and not a playlist. Meaning that they just put I like this song, it's making the album, and it just plays. There's like an actual theme, and it's cohesive. The features, when they come on, because you're so like engulfed in the Weeknd's parts, they're jarring a bit, and then like, oh, that was okay, and then the Weeknd comes back, and then you're back into it.
That's exactly what happened to me. Like, I didn't know Tyler and I knew they were in it, but I don't know when they were gonna come up. So in the middle of Here We Go Again, I'm like, this shit slaps, and then Tyler's come on, and I'm like, I got out. It pulled me out.
I prefer Tyler's verse over Lil Wayne's.
Yes.
I didn't hate either one, like you guys said. There's no song I hated, but I will say the weak link to me is Best Friends. That's really? Like, that's okay. Starry Eyes is also like that's okay.
When you sit and wonder, you're annihilated.
I found that part funny.
Yeah, like I'm like, what?
Favorite song on the album is Less Than Zero. The frame it came on, I was like, he's gonna go synthy emo music on me. When I heard that synth into the drum pattern, I was like, we're going emo. And then this leads to why I laughed when I mentioned the discotheque thing and you guys liked it. And this leads into why I'm a variant.
Yeah.
He says things the way I say things.
Oh, shit.
Like, jokingly, like discotheque.
Uh-huh.
He says it like that. Less Than Zero, out of my head. He takes the H out completely and goes emo with a yeah. And
he took that from Blink-182 then.
Well, he took it from emo people, like the emo, prominent emo things before that.
Yeah.
But the fact that he chose to say it was like, this is just, I'm a variant.
And though this is a lesson learned for you. So like when you feel an itch to make something, you're like, do it before he releases it. 'Cause I mean, see, that's what's coming up next, right?
Or if whatever I'm working on, I know the next album's going to be this optimized. So whatever I want to hear more of, I just got to work on that.
That's not at all the way. That's not the tech. Me. That's not the tech. Make it yourself first, and then he's going to be like, fuck, I got to reroute.
Right. Less Than Zero, Out of Time, and How Do I Make You Love Me? Those are my top three. Jim Carrey is just a gem.
He sure is.
He's funny, a great actor, and after seeing the show, what was it called? Oops.
Kindness, something kinda.
Yeah.
Let's look that up before we embarrass ourselves further. Something kind. I forgot.
I left a glowing review of the show.
Yeah.
And I can't remember the name of it. Kidding?
Kidding, not kind. It's kidding. It's kidding.
Okay, Kidding. It showed that he had he did other serious roles, but that one took the cake for me.
Eternal Sunshine of a Spotless Mind.
And to hear how well he did here, being multiple things. He was soothing, but he was also it was unnerving. He somehow sounded like relaxing, but then there's an ulterior motive here. And then when you listen to it and actually listen to what he's saying, he's guiding you to the afterlife, whether it's heaven or hell. He's your flight. He's your pilot to whichever way you go. When they got to his poem at the end, Phantom Regret, it's very I guess I don't know if introspective is the right way, but it makes you reflect. Everything he's saying, he's like when he's asking questions, it was really in tune with life. And then you're sitting there while he's talking, and you're actually contemplating what your life's been like up until that point, as if you did die. And he's like, did you? Is this the way that you should have done everything he asked?
You're like, let me answer that real
Yeah,
quick.
like
Let me
this song was
pause and get the answer for you.
This song was immersive.
Mm-hmm.
Like we're to the point where there's once he starts actually talking, I don't hear the music. I don't hear TheWeeknd in the back doing vocals. I literally just hear Jim talking to me.
Mm-hmm.
It's as if we're at the end of the ride, or like when like the analogy I said when they say, "Oh, the doctor will see you now."
Oh yeah.
He's walking me into that one room where you wait for the doctor.
Yeah, and he's like giving you like a survey before he leaves.
He's like, "Oh, well, this your dude," and insert things here. That's what it felt like. You get to the doctor's office. When the doctor comes in, he's going to tell you your verdict. Essentially, are you going to be in heaven or hell?
Mm-hmm.
That's what this felt like. This whole thing felt so cohesive, such a beautiful aesthetic to this album. That I'm trying to figure out when my luck's going to run out, because I got Black Dahlia and Skullgirls.
Facts.
We got Biking and Guilty Gear.
Facts.
A bunch of shit was announced last year that I already forgot, but it was a lot of nice things. And then, hey, Happy New Year. Fuck it, I'm dropping an album. And it ends up being the first week of the fucking year.
Yeah,
and then it's literally like, hey, Brian, this is the music you've been trying to work on. This is entirely what you've been trying to do. This is what it could sound like.
And then
I'm a variant.
Yeah.
That's my TED Talk. I love this album. It's an experience. It's not just good music, like Randall said. It's literally and it's just storytelling through the way an album is cut, ordered, transitions. Everything about it is what I miss about what I miss about albums where this is what it used to be about. It wasn't just songs thrown together. There was an
playlist,
art to it.
A random playlist.
Yeah,
here's some songs I made for this year. Enjoy it.
There was an art to it. It still is, and it's refreshing. It's refreshing when people do it, like attempt it. But then it's also like, this is why I love music, when people do it to this level.
Yep.
Like I said, there's some weaker songs compared to the rest of it, but overall, I really enjoyed this. There's only 1, 2, 3, 4. There's only 5 things I didn't heart, and 3 of them are interludes.
Gotcha.
But I still enjoyed them.
I have 2 more things to add, and it's basically, the first one is the same way we praised the Silk Sonic project last year because they got an era down to the T. He did the same here with what he accomplished in terms of what you're hearing, and then the undertones is more serious. Obviously, if you listen to what he's talking about and what Jim's talking about.
Another thing too.
Go for it.
I'm gonna interject on your interjection here.
Okay, let's get it.
Even though it's a different sound, and if you compare this to the 3 mixtapes, it's still him with a different genre, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And the evidence for that is the lyrics to Gasoline, the way he's talking, and specifically the way he starts Here We Go Again. At first, I'm like, he's just gonna make dance music, and he hit me with that cadence, that flow that he does, and like every album has a flex song, and this is what I usually say. I think the only one that, no, all of them did. Even my dear Melancholy has a flex song. I was like, am I not gonna get it? Is he gonna break the streak? I heard the instrumental of Here We Go Again. I'm like, okay, here's a ballad.
Mm-hmm.
And he hit that singy, rappy cadence. I'm like,
flex.
Yeah, Abel. Yeah. Tell him, Abel. That's basically what happened.
Here we go again, comma, tell him.
Mm-hmm. Here we go again, dot. The fuck you think this is?
Yeah, the fuck you think this is XO, okay? My other thing is a small gripe, because I've seen a bunch of emails thrown at me of, here's new merch of Dawn FM. Here's all this other stuff. So why did you choose this picture as your album cover art? It's just him old. And I'm like, you know how much, there's cool art that he's selling as merch. And I'm like, why not put that as your album cover? But that's just a small thing for me. Because I saw, when it came out, I'm like, oh, let me go see what album cover he chose. It's just this fucking guy looking at me at 90 years old, right? Like,
I thought it was like him like teasing a video or something, and then that's also him say, oh, he revealed his album cover. And I my first reaction was to laugh.
He looks like he's related to Quincy Jones.
He looks like if they rebooted like Nutty Professor, he would be in it. If they rebooted any Eddie Murphy movie, he would be in it.
You're right. And that's what sucks, because I'm like, oh damn, like if I were to get like a vinyl thing of this, it's just his fucking face instead of like Instead of like the actual cool Dawn FM like logo and stuff that they showed, if you look it up, you can see the cool art. But in order to get a vinyl for it, it's just gonna be his face, old.
I think it's entertaining. If he went cool, it would have been cool. But him doing this, I find it funny.
Yeah.
For the vinyl.
Is she here? Tell her
Yeah,
to look at
she's
the
here.
screen real quick.
Hold on. She said that he might do a different picture for the vinyl. All right, but he said look at the screen.
I'm gonna be funny.
All right, continue.
All right.
Microphone in your panza so people can hear what I can hear.
Yeah, I mean, she said that I should put a microphone near my stomach because I'm having stomach like growls and like a bunch of gas. I've been farting and shitting all day. So,
In that order.
You what?
because I've been farting and shitting all day.
Really? You have diarrhea?
I think so. I
In
don't
that
know.
order.
I don't know.
I don't know.
In that order.
I think I've been I've been remixing the order. Like sometimes I just like
Oh.
go and drop a few deuces and then like a bunch of gas afterwards. And then sometimes I do a lot of gas to the point I'm like, oops, I almost shat myself and I gotta go take a piss. I mean, poop. So it's
Damn,
been a
you
pretty
ever
wild
fart so hard
day.
you have to pee.
Yeah.
Going on, Greg?
He said
I hate when that
I farted so hard I have to pee. He said he hates when that happens. It keeps coming up. I'm not sure what that is. I have to figure that out. Okay, let's not say that at all, right?
Here.
What?
happened to my mic?
You took it out last time. I don't know where you put it. Think about the little one? Yeah, you took it out. Anywho, I don't think I have anything else to add. I mean, it's a renowned, I think, in this call. Yes, go listen to it. Like it's
Yeah.
from beginning to end. Don't shuffle the album on their first listen to.
Another thing, it's oh shit.
I don't have it connected, so you can't hear the growls. But
Another thing, it's less than an hour
yeah, it's only
51
51 minutes, so
and 49
it's-
seconds.
You're in and out quick. On the bottom right, make sure that it's set to your, what's it called?
What?
You have to alt tab because Resident Evil's taking up the thing. Yep. And then right down there, make sure it's set to.
Go to view.
Yeah, go to view. Headphones. Yeah, that's correct. So, should be working. Yeah, I think she broke her headphones. All right. Well,
Yeah,
I'll sort that out in a bit.
But she can't hear anything.
That's what she said. But I mean,
What about the
that's-
wheel?
She's doing that. I don't know.
What?
We can't debug it at this moment, right? Like,
It works.
she got it. She said she doesn't need me.
Was it the wheel? Ask.
I think she's just disconnecting, reconnecting.
Ask.
Yeah.
She said, yeah, she's just disconnected, reconnected.
Why would I?
She basically did the number one IT rule. Can we
That's
try
not what I
turning
wanna
it
hear.
off, turning it on? I mean, that's
That's
some
not what I
horseshit.
wanna hear.
Anywho, I don't think I have anything else to add besides go listen to it at least once from beginning to end. Like, it's a
Yeah.
cool experience. Jim Carrey did a great job narrating,
Oh,
able with the vocals, writing, instrumentals. Awesome.
all in all, fucking sucks.
Yeah, it sucks. Worst album from his entire collection.
It's not my favorite, but it's up there.
It definitely skyrocketed to top 3, right?
I would think I would think probably easy top 3. I don't think it's my favorite though.
After I don't have time to think right now on that, but
I mean, I already
yeah.
know what my favorite is.
Kissland.
No, that's my favorite. To pray doesn't exist anymore.
Did they get
That's the
deleted?
whole sentence for that.
That's
yeah.
wild. Okay. Randall, you have any other closing thoughts here, or should we moving on?
Nah, I said everything.
Okay. Brian. Death's Door. Tell me
Mhm.
about it. It's an indie darling, apparently, from last year. Kept hearing a lot of things about it.
You could have transitioned because we're talking about an album about purgatory.
Yeah?
You could transition into that because it's called Death's Door. I just want you to know that.
I mean, that's kind of why I did it. We still have one more that has to do with Afterlife that he was advertising in his show, in his album, Ghostbusters Afterlife.
Okay,
I-
Death's Door. I drooled.
Is
I
that
don't
good?
remember. I don't remember who made this game. I was gonna say Boom Made By, but I think
I
Devolver published it.
I can look it up for you while you talk about it.
Okay, so Boom. This is the premise. You're crows or reapers, right? Whenever a soul is their time to die,
Uh-huh.
these birds are assigned. Hey, get this guy. It's like a bureau, and then you're one of those, and you go and you murder this thing, and then you're supposed to claim the soul that you've been assigned to and bring it back. So boom, you go into the first door that goes to the soul, and you kill it, and you're about to do your job, and a big ass crow knocks you out and takes the soul.
Oh shit.
That's how the story starts. That's all I'll say.
Okay. Before we continue, published by Devolver Digital, like you said, developed by Acid Nerve.
I don't know if they've done anything else that I've played.
I'll look for you. Titan Souls is the other game they
I
made.
played that. I wasn't a fan of that.
Okay. Those are the only two that they have here on Steam, listed on Steam anyway.
So I see a motif then, because that game is Soulsy. Souls. I don't know. Souls like I immediately picture it only plays like that. But this I refer to Soulsy as if it has some kind of thing that you would see from Souls games. It's not like that centric. It's more of like it's isometric, like Titan Souls, and it kind of combat kind of feels like a mix between a Souls game and the top-down Legend of Zelda, kind of. There's a slash button. There's one that you power up and you slash. You combat roll your evasive maneuver, and then you have what end up being spells that you pick up. There's 4 in the game, and you channel them and then throw them. So it's ranged. You have your ranged mechanic. You don't have mana, but you have 4, I guess, points of it. In order to fill that meter up, you just slap people. So every time you hit someone, it goes up 1, and then you can. There's only one spell that costs more than 1. Is a big ass bomb. But all the other ones, which is it's a bow, a hook, the bomb, and fire.
Are any of those used for exploration or
So all of them are.
Okay.
There's spells that you use in combat, but you also use to access different things.
Awesome.
This game isn't linear. It's not like just like a boss rush. You could just beeline the game and that's it. But there's also weapons you can collect and upgrades to these spells by exploring and finding secret stuff. I didn't get all the weapons when I played. I unlocked 1 because like that's a big ass hammer. I want it, and I went out of my way to get it. And then I just found an umbrella you can use as a joke weapon. I didn't find the other ones. I didn't just fully beeline. I explored until I'm like, and then I would go to the next area and rinse and repeat. Gameplay combat is very responsive. It's not a slow game at all. Like in terms of you press and then
it's very
it's pretty quick.
Or
yeah. Also like Souls games, you kill things or you find souls and use that to level up. There's only 4 stats. Melee damage, melee speed, movement speed, range damage.
Okay.
That's all there is, and then I think there's only 5 levels for everything.
Oh, okay. So it's like a really. This might be like a proof of concept for them, and maybe their next game is going to be like a much broader Souls type of game.
I like how I don't think streamline's the word. I like how simplified. It's like simplified but effective is the approach on a lot of things.
That's
like that, like the combat. Yeah, I guess everything feels streamlined. So it's like a little condensed, entertaining game. The story's given to you way easier.
Digestible.
You know how like in Souls games you have to find the story essentially. You go around and you talk to people, you find written things, and that's essentially how you find out more about the world. This one it's more like
they tell you.
Yeah, you talk to people and hey, go here, and then this guy, he's this generation of this family. This was how he thought or whatever. Every time you kill a boss, you befriend a gravedigger. Every time you kill a boss, the body falls, and then he's there at the boss fight, and he goes, "Here lies," and then gives you a bit of their lore. And the game is not fully serious, despite being about death. It has humorous lines in there.
Okay, so they do take the time to be like lighthearted or like puns and stuff, or is it like
Yeah,
pun
to an
humor,
extent.
or is it like what do we do? What are we
Just like
talking for?
stupid, like just like stupid lines.
Okay,
And it's not punny.
okay.
Um, like there's one boss who's a frog, and the common joke is he'll sit on people to death.
Oh, okay.
So then you see somebody like, oh, I hope I'm not under those green buns or something like that. And you're like, oh, okay, and then you move on.
Uh-huh.
I didn't find any of the bosses annoying. Anytime that I die, they have like some stupid thing that I'm like, that's cheap or whatever, but not like to the point of rage. Anytime I did get upset, it was mostly my dumbass pressing something I shouldn't have.
That's good. So it doesn't
Um,
break the rules like Tails did. Like once the combat mechanics are there, they're there. They're not giving you some like, oh, out of nowhere, now you have to learn how to do this.
yeah, and they have
Gotcha.
things that made me feel smart. That you, the game doesn't tell you, hey, do this when the boss does this. I did it by like just
Instinct.
joke. I wanted to throw something at this person, and then it ended up being effective.
Okay.
And I was like, oh, that's crazy. The aesthetic is cool. The soundtrack I really enjoy.
Okay.
Especially in certain areas. It's mostly just like not ambient music, but it's not really percussive. It's mostly like strings or piano or things like that. A lot of it sounds gorgeous. I think every time you're around the Gravedigger, he has his own theme, I think, and I like that a lot. So I like the soundtrack. The game feels very responsive, which is my complaint about these Souls games. Is it always you press a button and it's like, but then a guy who's like 9'3" is faster than you.
Yeah.
Like, all right, well,
he's
the fuck is
built
that?
different. That's why he's been doing push-ups since he was 2.
Yeah.
So
The story, from what I gathered, it wasn't like, yo, this is journey of 2021.
we've yet to play that still.
It's entertaining. It's interesting. It's enough to keep you entertained, I think. I'm trying to think if I missed anything. Combat's fun, story's fun, aesthetically pretty. I like the soundtrack.
It sounds
Game is
it's
short. You know,
solid.
it's not like a time sink at all unless you want to.
Explore
I don't know if
every
this is a
nook and cranny.
spoiler. Yeah, I don't know if this is a spoiler or not, but they let you play the game after you beat it.
Okay, so it's not like oh you have to like load the right before the previous save.
Yeah, no, it'll story happens and they tell you something and then you can explore.
Okay, so it takes place after you beat it. Does the world know that you finished, or does it still act
Yeah.
like you have to go take out the big bad?
There's people when you talk to them, they're like, "Oh, uh, story."
Yeah,
Um,
cool. I'm about to check it
yeah,
out.
I don't really have. I don't think as of right now, I don't really have any complaints. Really, I don't even know if anything bugged out when I played it all.
Solid.
Yeah,
That's good.
I recommend it. I don't remember how much it was, but I bought it when I was just throwing money at Steam
During the sale.
during the winter sale.
Yeah.
And I didn't play it on Steam. I played it on Epic. I think it's because Epic, they had a $10 coupon.
That's true. They were giving away a coupon. So, and on top of the deals they were having, so you can put the $10 on whatever you were
So
buying.
the $10 was on your entire cart. I think it was.
Oh,
So everything in your cart was $10 off. So I ended up getting
wait,
that.
what? That's not how cart works. It was $10 off of each item.
That's what I think it was. Yeah.
What? Okay. It would normally
It's-
just grab the subtotal and then just subtract 10, not 10 for each item.
I think it was 10 from each item, but I'm not confident enough to just to die on this hill.
Uh-huh.
But from I think that's what it was.
Okay.
That's
That's
I ended up getting that, and then
I should have gotten something then. I didn't know that was the case.
I got that in Darkest Dungeon 2. I haven't played it yet. I'll wait for it to be 1.0 probably. But I got it because cheaper.
Darkest Dungeon 1 was actually quite a hit, so.
Yeah, I like the first one, despite me aging 3 years every time I played.
The
From
stress,
stress.
yeah, those kind of games are super high level on stress.
Yeah, I like the game. For how much I paid for it, I think it exceeded the cost. I enjoyed myself with it. There's not really any negatives I can really think of as of right now. I recommend it to I just recommend it in general. It's a good game.
Nice. Okay.
It doesn't feel too hard, so people who are like casual players, I think you'll be fine.
That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like to me. It's like a more accessible Souls with more exploration and stuff. Because I think Titan Souls was just like back-to-back boss rushes.
I think so. From what I remember, I think it was just a boss rush.
Where I think now
Which,
they
if you're gonna
expanded
play a
to...
boss rush game, I recommend Fury.
Oh, Furious, right? Is that the one where you got to like the last boss and then some shit happened that fucked you and you're like, I'm done here?
No, so I kept playing boom, boom, boom. Right, I got to a boss that you had an option to just like concede to them. There's like some lady, I think she was singing. I was like, I fuck with that, and then I ended up staying there too long or something, and my character gave up. I'm like, oh well, I beat it.
What the hell? Okay.
That was an ending you can get apparently.
Oh, okay.
But that game was fun. It's hard. That game's hard as fuck. I wouldn't say hard as fuck. That game's challenging.
Yeah. That
But,
might be a Randall game then. He likes action games, so
I think you would like that, Randall. The action game, the camera's like this, and all you do is fight bosses.
I got hit once and I forgot.
no.
So like it'll be story, like you don't really play in between bosses. It's story, and then you walk up whatever path that you obviously have to go, and then it just leads to a boss fight and story. That's the game. But I think you would like it if you ever like find a lull in your backlog.
What's the name? What's the name of the game?
Fury, Furi.
Mm.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. I mean, I'll add that store to my backlog because I've seen gameplay of it. I'm like, that looks pretty fun. I didn't know it was like more like this Zelda with the exploration. So I like that.
It's not as huge as Zelda.
I know.
But the exploration is kind of like that. And when you get abilities, you can backtrack and, oh, this bomb works here. I knew it.
Yeah, that's my jam right there. That's very Metroid and Zelda. So, all right. Then we'll keep it moving then.
Another positive, and I just want to say this. So the boss is multi-stage, but when you get to a certain part, that's where you start from.
Okay, so that's a good.
So, like,
I don't know what the word I'm looking for is.
Middle ground.
Yeah, it's sure. That's a
So
good middle
it
ground.
starts. You slap him a couple times. He says, "I'm gone." Goes through a door. Then it becomes like a platforming part to get to him again.
Yeah.
You do that like 3 or 4 times. Nothing like broken. Like his you know his pattern, but every time he goes through a new door, he has a new move for that area.
Okay.
You slap him, he's like, I'm out. Platforming, which it felt good to platform.
Super Meat
After
Boy
you do that 4
or
times, no.
okay.
That game is all about platform. This one's like
Yeah.
You can do it.
Yeah.
Once you stop doing that platforming part, it takes you to a certain area. From that point on, that's where you'll start for the boss fight.
Good. Okay, that's a good middle ground. I don't like the you died 1 health away from the final phase. Do it all over. No, thank you. Okay,
Yeah.
that's cool.
So their approach, I mean, I hate multi-stage, but they did it in a way that it was it was palatable. I guess that's what I want to say.
Okay, that makes sense. I guess we can move on then. Randall. Speaking of Afterlife, Ghostbusters. Thoughts?
I really like this movie a lot. It was directed by Jason Reitman. Apparently, he did Juno, The Office, and Tully. That movie with
oh yeah, with Furiosa. Charlize Theron. Thank you.
Yeah. I think we actually watched that movie together, didn't we?
Which one, Tully?
Yeah.
I think so.
Okay. Stars Carrie Coon, Finn Wolfhard, McKenna Grace, Paul Rudd. Just to give you an idea on how good this movie did, like the budget was $75 million, and they made 191
billion. I'm just kidding.
Nah, but they made 191 million. So I highly recommend this movie. It hits nostalgia, fan service,
yes,
but it wasn't too obvious. It was done very tasteful.
The one that I didn't like that much was the cop saying who you're gonna call. That's when I'm like,
Yeah,
really?
that was cheesy.
Yeah, I'm like, come on.
I think isn't her name Phoebe, the main character?
Yeah, yes, I think so. Should have been.
I liked her a lot.
Yeah, it was Phoebe.
She was funny, especially when she was like going back and forth with Paul Rudd, and she was like, "How obtuse are you?"
Yeah, and he's like
making these like math jokes that was kind of they were funny to me, but I get it. Like they're supposed to be like
cringy.
corny.
They're supposed to be like cringe, yeah, because she plays like a very intelligent young girl, so
Yeah.
like not very extrovert, very introvert. So anytime she gets into a social situation, she tries to be funny, try to be sociable, and it ends up being like purposely like, oh, okay, you got math jokes that are bad or something, but it still it still lands because like, okay, it's corny, right? That's kind of the charm, right?
Yeah, man, this is a good movie, and speaking on her, like her intelligence, like they didn't. I think sometimes whenever they have a character that's supposed to be presented as being very intelligent, they kind of make that person OP, like they just know how to do everything, but they didn't really do that with her. Like to move the story along, she got help from said person or whatever, and that helped show not only how intelligent she was, but how adaptable she was to the situation. But she still reacted in like I don't remember how old her character was, but she still acted her age, even though she was, intelligent. Um, Paul Rudd's character, you just like Paul Rudd. He's a likable person. So it's not like
he basically
it's a weird situation because it's like I like the fact that he was in the movie, but I'm gonna take a page out of one of Bryant's books. Is like he could have been replaced with somebody else, and I don't think it would have really made a difference. Like he didn't really have a significant role as far as like anything unique to his character.
Yeah, he just
but
he turned
I'm glad
on,
it was him.
Yeah, he turned on the Paul Rudd charm, and then you're like, okay, thank you.
Yeah, exactly. What else? Without giving anything away, that's pretty much it, man. Like, the movie's just about one of the original Ghostbusters family,
going through hard times.
Yeah, going through hard times, and then they get they get information about something that's left for the family, so they go to see it, and then problem ensues because now they're in a town where they don't know anyone, and apparently their family member has a bit of a reputation. It's not really a bad one, but it's more like a outsider reputation. So things end up happening, and it usually leads. I guess one gripe I do have about the movie, what tends to happen in a lot of movies, is that I hate when a situation arises where there's a problem, but there's always pushback from other people. And it's like their reaction seems so extreme. And what I'm talking about in particular is like, the whole police department situation is like, there was no questions as to what was going on. Like,
yeah, it was just like, why they just did something wrong.
Just saw kids running around shooting regular guns. Like, no, this is a proton pack. Shouldn't there be like be some like
further investigation? Like what were you shooting at? Did you see a ghost? Right? Like,
yeah, exactly. Like, did no one else see what was going on? And I think that's the only part of the movie that like kind of bothered me, because it's like they're going through the city and doing said situation, but the people didn't respond, or it's like they had no knowledge of what was going on. Oh, they saw that they tore some stuff up, but they didn't see what they were shooting at.
Yeah, as it was flying through buildings with people in it. it's things. Yeah.
But other than that, man, it was a great movie, man.
Really definitely a good time.
Acting, entertaining. Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm pretty much seconding everything you just said there. I've even shot well. Music is done really well too. There's some nods to the old soundtrack in it. So
Mm-hmm.
for fans who love the original, go ahead, Brian. And he's got the mug. I like how what's brilliant about what just happened, Brian, is it came out of right where the position of the mug is and just transformed into a different mug. You know how the meme of like him taking off the sunglasses and there's another set of sunglasses? That's what just happened. Yep. Oh man. All right, go ahead. What are you gonna ask?
Do you think you need to see the originals to enjoy this, or does it stand on its own?
The thing is, it can stand on its own, but watching the first two, it's the original. There was two original ones, right?
Yeah.
Wasn't there 3? Or am I dumb?
I thought it was only 2 movies.
To my knowledge, it was 2, but maybe you're right. I mean, you might be thinking about the
Chris Hemsworth one with the female ones.
Yeah, I could be wrong. Again, I'm not confident enough to like say there's a third one, but I don't know why in my head I feel like there is one.
It significantly, like Randall said earlier, the nostalgia hits harder when you watch the first 2. And we can't really explain. There's spoilers, obviously, on how and why. But like soundtrack, I guess for people who've seen the trailer, the Ecto 1's in it. Seeing the proton pack, seeing the effects. They even do like very old school effects, like when they're doing a chase scene. It looks like they have the car built and all they did was put a green screen behind, and it looks like that type of filming from back in the day. And not a cheesy way. It's like, okay, it's like it happens quick enough where you're like, okay, I can see it, what they did there, and it worked, right? Yeah. I would say, answer your question, I think it would benefit you more, but you do not have to, because this seems like it's a nice. I wouldn't even want to say it's a reboot. It's like just like the kids in the movie, or like them being exposed to the Ghostbusters, I guess, if that would be it. That would be the same way as if a new viewer were to come in and watch this series. They'd be like, oh, what? There used to be a real thing of Ghostbusters? Like that, the Ghostbusters exists in this movie as they used to be a thing in the 80s. Okay. So they can look and they can go back on YouTube, because it shows, I think, Phoebe looking through YouTube it was or something.
Yeah.
It was like an advertisement for Ghostbusters, and you'll see them from that back in the day. So it's a good introduction to bring in new people, but then also great for nostalgia, because if you've seen the movies, you'll be like, oh. So I definitely recommend watching the first 2 and then taking this one for a spin. But if you already watched the first 2, you can just jump right in here. There's not too many huge like apparent nods, but there's a lot. Yeah, I guess that made sense. Yeah, I'm right there with Randall. I definitely recommend it. Like, I'm seeing that the release date was November, we should have gone and watched it in theaters. It would have been in our talk for our 2021 movie of the year stuff. I don't know how far it would have gotten, but out of some of those filler movies that we had on there, this would have replaced one of them, right? Like, easily.
Yeah. You say you would have rigged it different?
Yeah, I would have in the back end. I would have rigged it different.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Wild. So yeah, that's Ghostbusters. Go and check it out. It's awesome. It's a good time. I guess I'll do a quick one before we get into the Matrix. Let me do Hot Wheels Unleashed. This is one that I've had in my backlog because I bought it was on sale and I heard it was a decent racing game. Turns out it's a really fun racing game. Especially, me and Brian played with Hot Wheels as kids, but we never had those elaborate tracks that we would run them through. Like the Hot Wheels tracks? No, we didn't. When?
It wasn't wild, but we had one.
Oh, I don't remember it.
It was gray.
And it was Hot Wheels brand?
I want to say yes.
And it was Cold Wheels.
It was Cold Wheels, yeah. Like, that's not...
Cold Circles?
That's weird. Yeah, okay. Well, then never mind. I guess we did, but I don't remember that. Anywho,
it wasn't anything crazy. Like, yo, you can loop and go back in time. There wasn't anything like that.
Gotcha.
It was like
that sound like an advance.
You shoot it up and then you'd go up it. And there's like a bridge. And then there's like it could loop under it and then it would connect. So it would be like...
Is that when you started your time travel?
Yeah.
Yeah, that sounds what it sounds like. It's fucking
You didn't
very.
know that Back to the Future is a biography movie about me?
Oh,
Oh,
I
snap.
didn't, but now that we have that exclusive, thank you. Anywho, so yes, a racing game set in the Hot Wheels era. The cars you drive are I think are actual Hot Wheels cars you can go on the store and buy, or maybe they're vintage ones that you can't buy anymore, but they're in the game. Uh, there's a level of charm to this racing game that's I haven't seen in a racing, like in a licensed game, right? This feels like a Hot Wheels game. The cars look like it. The tracks are set up in such a way where it is, uh, the physics system for the cars, like the wheels, are its physics system. Like you can, if you go too fast, you can hit the side of the track and just barrel roll off, and you'll have to respawn. If you're doing the loop de loop and you don't have enough speed, you'll just fall back down. Like it's as if you're playing with Hot Wheels. Uh, the boost, there's boosts that you can use that you can charge up by drifting. The drifting in the game always feels great. They do a good job with the way they position the camera when you're drifting, the sound effects, the smoke effect. It's just drifting around the corners on the Hot Wheels thing, always satisfying. There's environmental hazard, like track hazards that you can do. There's depending on like if it's a spider, it can like stop you for a couple seconds. There's some that slow you down, send you like reverse. There's like a bunch, things to avoid, things that speed you up, like little, like in Mario Kart, the little like pads that temporary boost, things like that. Super arcadey. The main campaign is just clearing out a bunch of predetermined races, with boss fights being like a boss level, which is like a lengthy level with like a new environmental hazard that you'll see from then on out. And that's the bulk of it. You can unlock cars by unlocking Hot Wheels packs that you get by just getting in-game currency. So like you do races, you get currency to buy packs to open up new Hot Wheels, and it's always cool to see. Oh, you got a legendary one. It's like a weird design. Like I was showing Brian and I think Randall some stuff like you can get the one with Snoopy on the house. There's a hot dog car, a whole bunch of old like whatever licenses. I don't have the DLC, but they have a bunch of Batman and like DC ones that they added after the fact. But in terms of car stuff, they have the aesthetic down to a T. They added a battle pass and stuff, but I didn't get into that at all because I think that's like a separate area. The probably the best thing that I did not delve into because I'm not a track creator. You can create your own tracks. You can make a sprint where you can go from one into the other. Or you can make a circuit one that loop de loops. Does whatever. You basically have this basement that you can customize the look and feel however you want. You unlock a bunch of walls, couch colors, posters and stuff to make your own Hot Wheels basement, and then you just make your Hot Wheels track. You can use real life, like a couch or something, as part of your race. So you can like jump off of a weird thing and land on the couch, drift around into another piece that goes down into like the vents. Like it's very creative. There's a lot of levels like that where one of my favorite levels is you basically go straight. It turns you upside down because there's like a pad that you can do that attaches you to like in Mario Kart where it's like the anti-gravity stuff where like it pulls you in for a bit. So they do that into like a dead end, but underneath another track, and you have to physically with a controller, you can spin your car, backflip, whatever with like the right stick. Does that make sense? Like if you're like in GTA when you like jump up and then you can turn the car and stuff. They do that in this game. So you'll drop from the top and you'll have to barrel roll and land on the thing on the underneath. Otherwise your car just lands like this and skids out.
That's cool.
So things like they do a lot of cool physics-based stuff like that in tracks, and it's like really fun. Especially because the first time it happened to me, I'm like, "What the hell?" It's like, and then you try to quickly adjust, and I landed on two wheels and like readjust, and I'm like, "What the hell?" So the next lap, I was ready for it, made it clean, just and landed on it. And I'm like, I'm a fucking spy hunter.
They should do a collab and hear me out here.
Go for it.
Portal collab. The levels have portals now. You can make levels with portals.
That would be insane. But I don't know if anyone's looking for like a racing game that he can play with even with their kids or by themselves. It's just a fun arcade game to get through. I had a great time. I think it was like a little bit before the holiday break. I started playing it and started running through it. It's awesome. Good time. It has split screen. If you want to bring someone to play with, like on the tracks there with the AI. I feel like I'm missing something about it, but
Did you play online against real people?
I did. That's also pretty fun. It was a quick
Netcodes feel good?
netcode felt great. Like it wasn't a bunch of cars doing this shit, like trying to sync up. It again, granted, I have a really good connection here at home, so I don't know if that's how huge of a hindrance that would be. But when I played online for a bit, because I was trying to get as many achievements as possible, really fun. I don't know if I'm missing anything, but and then you can upgrade the cars. So you can burn down extra duplicate, because you can get duplicate cars from the packs that you unlock. So you can break it down for gear parts that you can use to upgrade the ones you already have. So you upgrade stats for all the cars. So technically you can get a legendary version of each of the cars that are in the game with their max stats. You just have to invest in it by in-game currency and in-game like resources, which is really cool. Basically everything just feeds into itself. And that's it. Dope. Especially if it's on sale. Go grab it. It's fun. And that's it for Hot Wheels. Randall. It's time. I don't know how many years in the making it was, but we're resurrected. The Matrix Resurrections came out December what? 20. Let me double check. Hello? Oh, 22nd. Bestowed upon us on HBO Max. To preface it, I have seen all the Matrix, even the Animatrix. The collection of I don't know if that's canon or not, but
yeah, it's canon.
It's canon, and me and Brian also played Enter the Matrix back in the Xbox days, where you play as Niobe and the other guy.
Ghost was his name?
Sure.
Yeah.
Right. That's how much.
I should have played Path of Neo. That one was better.
I didn't play that one. I don't know which one came out first, but
the one with Niobe came out first.
Oh, that's the one we played, and then I don't know if we ever just had any interest in getting it. Maybe because the first one, like, because we played Into the Matrix, and we're like,
Yeah, it was night and day. The one with Niobe was trash. But the one with Neo was good.
Was good. Oh, well, maybe if they port it over to PC or maybe an emulator or something, I'll give it a shot. But that's all the Matrix knowledge I have is the Enter the Matrix, the movies, and the Animatrix collection. So when I first heard they were making it, I'm like, I thought he was gone. And then like, nope, we found a way to write it so he's not gone. Enter Matrix Resurrections. Randall, you can start with this. Because I don't know if I have a lot positive to say.
So this movie was directed by Lana Wachowski. The sibling did not join in this time because they were having their parents had just recently died, so it was only done by Lana.
Okay.
If anybody doesn't know who the Wachowskis are, they did the original Matrix trilogy. They also did Jupiter Ascending. They did Cloud Atlas, which these movies are important because it was one of the disagreements or gripes between them and Warner Brothers because they didn't really want to do this movie. They wanted to create a trilogy with Jupiter Ascending and Cloud Atlas like they did with The Matrix, but apparently Warner Brothers didn't have faith in those titles to pursue making more movies for them. So there's like, instead of making more movies based on these the story for like Jupiter Ascending and Cloud Atlas, let's force and shoehorn an extra Matrix movie.
Yeah.
So that's why they had that little conversation in the movie with them mentioning Warner Brothers. It was like a stab at them. But anyway, so to give you some sort of idea on how well this movie did, the budget was $190 million.
Jeez.
They only made 106.
Jeez.
So that left them $84 million in the hole.
Yep. It also doesn't help that it helps and doesn't help because we can't know how much cash they got from new subscribers to HBO Max for this, because that was kind of a selling point. Day and date, theater and HBO Max, right? So if they made 106 just out of theater alone, I hope the rest were made through new subscriptions for the month of December, right?
Mm-hmm.
But we don't have that data, so that's still a lot of money, as in the negatives, right?
Yeah. I don't really have much to say about this movie, because I don't recommend it at all, not even a little bit. I don't feel like it was polished. I feel like they shoehorned and forced um, old characters back into the movie. Like there was no reason for Morpheus to be in this movie.
Nope.
They even brought back the Merovingian, which was still pointless. It was just literally to have a fight segment in the movie.
Yeah, he didn't have to be there. They could have been like, "Oh, these are just other Smiths or other what's." They
Yeah.
could have put anyone there for that fight.
So this movie was just pointless, man. Like the story was it felt made up at the last minute. It didn't feel like someone sat down or a team sat down and like thoroughly thought this out. If it literally just like you read the stories about, between the Wachowskis and Warner Brothers, that whole situation, like it shows in this movie. The quality is not there.
Yeah,
There's nothing to go. I can't think of anything that would make me want to say, you know what, in the off day that you don't have anything else to watch, check it out. No.
no, because it's
I
two
would
and a half
I would
hours.
prefer you to rewatch something that you've already seen that's good.
Yeah, The Nice Guys, Man from Uncle.
Yeah. I haven't even seen what is it, Velociraptor Pasta. I would rather you watch that than watch this movie.
Damn, that's saying a lot.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to. I mean, to follow what he was saying, it just actually to follow to quote Jenniana here, because afterwards, she just said out loud. She just said out loud. I remember if I asked her, she was just like, "The movie was lame." Yes,
Yeah.
the Matrix.
The ending was really bad.
A lot of it was really bad. That's what we're talking about now.
Really cheesy.
She said it was really cheesy. I don't know if that came through the
Like,
mic.
Fan servicey. Too good to be true, kinda. You know what I'm saying?
I heard fan service. I didn't hear what happened after.
She said it was too fan servicey and it was like cheesy. I don't even think it was enough fan service because I was not serviced. I'm a fan.
Yeah.
Everything was like, well, did you see it?
Brian hasn't seen it, but we're just reviewing it to stay away from it because
The way it ended was like, so neat.
yeah, it was not.
I was like, I didn't.
There's just a lot of things that just didn't follow from that energy from like the original trilogy did not come through here. Like Neo being the one literally CQCing the world in the original, right? Like a pole in the middle, pole dance fighting in the middle, right? With a bunch of Smiths, him taking them on like the bullet time stuff, and then they ruined bullet time.
Yeah.
By making a new type of bullet time. I'm like, why? Everything that came from Neo in this was his hands up at the thing. That's it.
Yeah. There's memes on social media about that.
Like that, you guys can do more than that. You know how much training Keanu Reeves do to nail the John Wick feeling. I'm sure he's down to do it again. Doing like if he put that much time and energy to learn the gun CQC thing he learned for John Wick, I'm sure he's down to do some more like some, even if he has a stunt double, he'll do some of the martial arts and then have some guy step like I'm sure. Shit, there's like whole segments in the older trilogy where it's just CG of him doing martial arts. Like you can clearly see it didn't age well. You're like that's a 3D model, right?
Yeah.
None of that here. It's any altercation was literally he enabled God mode and he's like no, and that's it. And it's like, what are we doing?
It literally felt like They made that movie in like 3 months.
They spend. I don't know. Especially for people who watch the previous trilogy, I do not recommend you go watch this. I don't know if you're gonna have a good time because you're gonna be questioning everything. You're gonna be asking, why are we doing this?
Yeah, if you if you're someone who watched the original trilogy, just stop there. I mean, like you can go ahead like the stuff that Anthony mentioned earlier, like
Yeah, the Animatrix was cool, so I recommend
yeah,
watching that.
yeah, that stuff is good, and plus because it's important to the story and the lore. But this movie, nah, just steer clear.
Yeah, I'm cool on that. Go ahead and try something else. I don't know. I don't have much else to speak on it. Like were some parts cool to watch, cool, but you have to keep in mind it's 2.5 hours. The ratio of how much cool stuff there is in this is not worth it. It's below. It's like there's more boring or just bad things in this than there is cool stuff, right? And that there's just no. We only have so much time in the day.
The only thing I want to know is,
Love
I-
is.
huh? What do you say?
He said, "Love is."
Uh, I want to know how Carrie Ann Moss and Keanu feel after seeing.
I can tell you how Keanu feels. He's good to be alive. He's happy. I'm sure he
Yeah.
doesn't give a shit, dude. Like, not in a bad way. He was honored to be in it. Like, I'm sure he's like positive about it. I don't know anything about Carrie Ann, so I'm not gonna speak on that because I don't think I've ever seen any like interviews of her for this movie or for anything else. So I have no idea.
Mm-hmm.
But Keanu, like after everything we've seen in the past 5 years from him, it's just him going, "Love it, dude. Yeah, interesting. You're breathtaking." Like he's just enjoying life, right? I don't know how what Carrie Ann is taking it, but I mean she had a strong part in it. She was kind of like the savior needed by the end of it. So
I'm surprised. I mean, well, after seeing the movie, I'm not surprised, but I forget his name. The guy who played Agent Smith, the original Agent Smith. I'm surprised he wasn't in it.
yeah, Hugo Weaving, right? Is that his name?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think me and Danielle were talking about it afterwards. Like, well, I wonder why he wasn't in. I wonder if he just declined it. Which, after watching this, I can see that. Like, he probably saw the script and he was like, "No thanks.
Yeah, I'm not doing this.
I'm not doing
And
this."
you know what's funny about that is that he would have made more sense to be in this movie than the guy who played Morpheus.
Yeah,
Because he's a program, so it would make sense that he's there.
yeah, he should always be there because he's just code.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. I no, I would just say don't worry about it. And actually, that's what we did Sunday as well. We also watched a bunch of what was it, The Hobbit 2 and 3.
Yeah.
So like seeing Hugo Weaving in The Hobbit, I'm like, go watch Lord of the Rings again.
Fucking drip, man.
Yeah, he had a fucking armor in The Hobbit. I'm like, look at this guy just killing the fucking runway, right? With this armor.
This
And
one
then
was Desolation of Smog.
that's the second one. That's the one when you first see Smog. At the end of you're introduced to Benedict Cumberbatch.
Installation of smog.
Yeah.
Smaug.
Smaug. Yeah. Thief.
I am death.
Yeah. And then that's how it ends. And it's like, what have we done? And then cut to black. And I'm like, oh shit, it's gonna be lit.
He's like, strange, isn't it? And he flew out.
Oh shit. I don't. That's all I gotta say about Matrix, man. I was heavily disappointed, to be honest. And that's all I got.
Man, I should rewatch that.
The Hobbit, yeah. Janelle was watching it.
Yeah.
And I was sitting next to her playing on my Switch or my on my phone, and just glancing and watching it.
Running through the batteries of all your devices.
Yeah, yeah. Those movies fucking slap. And it was just those are just I think the Lord of the Rings are better, but the Hobbit is still really good. That shit slaps. And that's
My
the
favorite moment in the Lord of the Rings movies is I can't remember the girl's name, but or I should say the lady, but she was fighting one
Galadriel.
of the race that can't be killed by men, but the whole
Oh,
time he didn't know he was fighting a woman.
Randall saying his
She
favorite.
bodied.
Go ahead. So finish that.
No, I was just gonna say she She bodied him by stabbing him in the face.
Yeah, she said, "I'm no man," and stabbed him.
Yeah.
He said that's his favorite part when the girl's fighting the dude who's like, "No man's killed me." I know. I just said Galadriel, and I didn't know what he was gonna say because he said that lady, and then he said what he said. Anyway,
Galadriel's girl, her and Legolas, and in Hobbit, Evangeline Lilly's character is my favorite.
yeah, she did. She killed. The best scene I think from rewatching Sunday I loved is the one shot take of the barrel dropping in Desolation of Smog.
Oh, in the water.
Yeah.
My
What's her name?
favorite scene.
Eowyn Randall is the character.
Okay.
Go ahead,
My
Brian.
favorite scene is anytime Evangeline Lilly's on screen.
Oh, okay. She was part of like before that one shot sequence and after.
Yeah, that was a good scene though.
And then Legolas was thrown in there too, jumping between barrels, fucking hitting kids with fucking arrows.
That
probably my sequence was my favorite fucking part. Go ahead.
If you don't count the guy that's like Dormammu from Lord of the Rings, what's his name? Sauron? Is that his name?
Mm-hmm.
I always get those mixed up, like Sauron and Saruman. I can't never remember which one is
Saruman's the old guy, right?
Yes, Saruman is that white dude who betrays everyone, and then Sauron is the eye.
I would have a hard time picking my Marvel team between Sauron, Galadriel, Evangeline Lilly's character, and Legolas.
Like there was a scene in The Hobbit, I think the third one. I don't know if it was the second one, a Desolation of Smog or Battle of the Five Armies, where it's Galadriel, Hugo Weaving's character, and Saruman before he becomes a traitor.
Mm-hmm.
Huh? Elrond.
Yes.
Okay, I'm bad with the names in Lord and the JR and the Tolkien series because they're just so wild to me. So
Moose.
They were popping off. She went to go save Gandalf, and they were like, "Oh, you came by yourself," and she's like, "I am not by myself." And they were just throwing hands at these fucking specters things.
I'm not by myself. That's what she said.
That's what she said. That was the line. I'm not by myself.
I am not alone. Or something.
And they fucking threw hands, bro. It was so cool to watch.
The one thing from The Hobbit that makes me uncomfortable is that wizard guy who just has shit on his hair the entire time.
Yeah, he came on screen, and the first thing I said was like, "Well, look at that cum he has on his hair." Yeah, it's really disturbing to watch. He's like, "Oh, that's all bird shit."
Mm-hmm.
To this day, I don't think on film I don't think I've ever seen anybody body people like Sauron in the beginning.
Oh,
This dude was just doing swings and taking out like hundreds of people.
yeah. I mean, he fucks, Randall. What do you know?
I really enjoyed the Lord of the Rings MOBA they had.
Did I ever get a chance to try that? I think I played the action adventure game demo.
Oh, it's 3 people.
Where you played as in Lord of the Rings, the guy who's gonna be king. Oh my gosh, the one that goes. You simply cannot. No, not him. That's Sean Bean.
When is that simply?
Not him.
You talking about the guy that looks like Rick?
Yeah, the guy that looks like Rick. Who's the main dude in Lord of the Rings he was the rightful king? Return of the King.
Oh,
Aragorn. That sounds right.
Viggo Mortensen.
Aragorn.
Yeah, Viggo Mortensen's character. Thank you. That's the actor's name.
Yeah, his name's
Rick?
Aragorn.
Aragorn.
That's what Randall says. That you played as him in the game. I forgot what the name of that game was. It's like an.
Oh wait, no, sorry. Yeah, Aragorn.
Rick?
Yeah. Viggo Mortensen. Gosh, man, if you haven't seen he's in another really good like indie film. I don't know if it's indie film, but it's a very dramatic movie. Pretty sad, but yeah, the one with the kids. It's a really good movie.
The glass castle?
No, espérate. I gotta look it up now because if you guys haven't seen it, you gotta fucking watch it. It hits you in the soul, but Viggo,
Yeah. Mortensen.
Viggo Mort. Vigo.
Mortison. Yeah. Mortison.
Okay, so here's what we're doing, Anthony. Lord of the Rings.
Did you not spell it right?
This site's either shitting on me or I'm shitting on myself. So, like, someone's shitting right now.
Man flesh.
2 G's. That's why. I did 1 G. Captain Fantastic. Go and watch Captain Fantastic. It's a great, great film. And he does amazing work. So, and all the kids did too. 2016 film. Captain Fantastic. Go watch it. All right. That's all. Oh, no. We still have one more thing here. Randall, you finally saw the documentary for The Last of Us. Grounded.
Yeah, real quick. It was good.
Yes.
I really love. Everyone knows that knows that I love the first Last of Us.
Yeah.
This I guess you can call it a movie. It was directed by Cesar Quintero. I never heard of him, but apparently he did another one called For Dreams, the making of The Last of Us Left Behind. So I'm gonna have to check that out now.
I don't think I saw that one. I saw the Grounded one. I didn't see the Left Behind one. That's interesting.
And he also did something called I Am Street Fighter. But I am steering clear of that because it just doesn't sound good. Troy Baker was in it. Ashley Johnson, Nolan North, and
All the voice
Gustavo.
actors. Yeah.
Some cool things for me that I thought was interesting was the whole fungus cordyceps thing that that the infected were being plagued with, or what caused people to be infected is actually like based off a real life fungus that attacks insects.
Yeah.
And it causes them to it takes over their brain and it makes them do things. And when it dies, it actually like becomes part of the environment, and anything that comes near it, it attaches to another insect, and then it
The
spreads,
cycle repeats.
in a colony. Yeah. So I thought that was really cool because it's like it's not just it's tangible, and I think anything that's tangible or relatable in a story makes it more grounded, hence the name Grounded. And I think it makes it believable, and it makes it easy for you as a player to like become engulfed in the story, because it's just not you become attached to it. It's not like off-putting. It's not like, oh, doesn't seem believable. The clicker thing, I found out that, like, as far as the audio is concerned, that screeching was actually done by a girl with no filter. I was like, what?
You'd be surprised what the vocal cords can do, man.
I mean, there was some like the other infected, they would combine sounds from different things, but at the base, it was some voice actor. She had no filter. It was like, this is just how she sounds. She did this with her voice. What else? Oh, something that I always talk about, like when actors have to go into like a dark space or whatever in their head, like an experience, something that they experience that's like really traumatic. Troy Baker was talking about
Doing the
the
opening
part
scene.
yeah, when Joel's daughter gets shot. He said that before it happened, he told Neil Druckmann that when this scene comes up, let me know ahead of time.
Yeah.
So he told him ahead of time. He said he was out in his I think cabin or whatever, room or whatever, preparing himself mentally. And once he got that locked down, he walked back in for them to do the shooting. And he said everyone could tell that he was different because he was in a different headspace. Like he went somewhere dark.
Yeah.
And he used that to project like the feelings that he had of his Joel's daughter getting shot. The messed up part about this though is that it wasn't just like 1 or 2 takes. It was like 9, 10 takes over and over that he had to pull his like emotion from himself, and he was like, it was exhausted, it was messed up, it was painful because he had to keep reliving whatever thing he was using that happened in his life that was terrible to get him through that. He kept using it over and over and over. And then I think some days later they had to do another. He was like, we need to reshoot it again.
Yeah. And he was like, no, you can't be doing this. I remember that part of it.
But they ended up doing it again, and then they eventually got it to the point where
what we saw on screen.
Yeah. The last 2 things that I thought was really cool was Gustavo, the guy who's in charge of like the music that you hear in the games. And maybe Bright might find this very impressive. He can't read or write music. He just like he plays what he feels.
That's the same with the lead person of Foo Fighters, Dave Grohl. I don't think he can read or write. He just plays.
That's cool, man.
I think. I'm pretty sure that's what I've heard him say on interviews. Like, I can't write music, so he just plays it.
Yeah.
I have to double check that. I think so. I have to double check.
But I think at this point he probably learned.
I have to double check, but yeah, cool. Go ahead, man.
And the last thing was even though they do mocap for like, you know, the action and the character movement, every single facial expression was hand animated. They didn't have like, I mean, now I don't know, maybe it was because of a time period, maybe because it was in 2013 or whatever. Now when they do games, they have the face cam that captures not only the body movement, but it catches the facial expression. I'm pretty sure they still had to do cleanup.
Yeah, they do.
But
they
when they did the last was they didn't have that. So they hand keyed all the facial, and I mean like the facial expressions, as I remember, were really good.
Yeah, especially for the time.
Yeah. So I thought it was an eye-opening. It was definitely experience. A good behind the scenes making, huh?
An eye-opening experience.
Yeah. I think
I was gonna recommend for you to watch the God of War one, but we already talked about the doc. We already you've seen it already.
Yeah.
Yeah. Brian, if you haven't seen Grounded, watch this documentary to get some behind the scenes, and also watch the God of War one.
I feel like I've seen
both of them already.
I've not the whole thing. I've seen like bits.
Oh, it's definitely they have both of them have audio sections that you could probably appreciate the way they did the recording and how they generated a bunch of the sounds, especially for Last of Us because it's very unorthodox.
How long are they, and where'd you find them? YouTube?
You can find both of them on YouTube, I think, if I'm not mistaken. But you can just type in Grounded, the making of The Last of Us, and then for the God of War one, I think it's called Raising Kratos.
That one was really good too.
Yep.
Interesting.
Anywho. Yeah. Oh, you have anything else to add for it, or?
Me? Nah. That was it. I definitely recommend it, man. Check it out. It's always nice to see the work behind a masterpiece.
Yep. Okay. Speaking about great things, The Great Season 2. Now, I think I've talked about The Great before here on the podcast and recommended that first season a lot because I dug it. It was a very cool way of people plotting the demise of a Russian leader. Now in Season 2, as you can tell by my change of tone here, I'm kind of... It's overstayed its welcome for me already. Why? Because mission complete. Spoilers. She becomes ruler.
What?
She becomes ruler. No, relax, bro. She becomes ruler of Russia. But the guy,
I thought it was the other.
Yeah, he spoilers, does not kill the Russian leader. Instead, starts to try to make amends, and they start growing closer together. The way they do that, I understand, very not clever, but like understandable writing, understandable chain of events or sequence of events. Is like, okay, I understand how they can be getting closer and closer to each other. They are trying to better themselves. Even the main dude from the first season, who you're you're made to hate from the beginning because he's supposed to be like such a brash asshole, etc. But
He's a piece
then,
of trash.
yeah, and throughout the second season, he starts to actively try to better himself because he has a kid coming, so he's trying to like better himself for him and for the girl, the wife. So seeing that, I'm like, okay, that's pretty cool. But by the end of the season 2, I'm kind of done with it. Like I think what drew me in is the plotting of like taking over like the siege and stuff. But once it's there, I don't have like a huge hook. I'm watching just to see it through, right? Not to say the performances aren't great. Everyone performs. There's still some strong, heavy scenes in this season. Great chemistry between everyone. There's still a lot of laughs, good writing. At this point, I know that sounds a weird take. Everything's great, but I'm just here to watch it end. I know it sounds weird, but the main plot point is done. So now that they're making different ones now, like how does she cope as being the leader now is basically what this season is, while he's trying to better himself. And she's also pregnant, so there's that arc on trying to run a country while you're pregnant. She eats dirt, which is funny, on multiple occasions. I don't know why that makes me laugh every time.
Because this is not normal.
Yeah, but then she has like how women go through like cravings and stuff when they're pregnant. She just wants to eat dirt, and that's the first 2 times it happened. It was really funny. I don't know why.
It was Oreos.
What?
It was Oreos.
Oh, that'd be cool. She said it was Oreos. It looked like real dirt, so I.
But you crushed
Oh,
Oreo
I
off,
see.
It looks like real dirt.
Okay.
I think that's what she said in an interview.
Oh, okay. I didn't know that you had other information here.
Yeah, on TikTok.
Got it. You are watching.
Shades on her stuff. That's gross, but I can't remember what else it was.
She does eat a bunch of gross stuff, but I don't know. It's still even through season 2, I still recommend it. It's first of all a period piece, so like all the sets are awesome to look at. The fashion, they all wear some crazy stuff that just looks awesome on people to watch, and obviously when you have cameras that are able to capture all that in high vibrance or cinematography and the way they shoot it, it's awesome. It's cool to watch. It's even for a TV show. Shot really well. Music's awesome too. I don't know. The characters are lovable. You care for almost all of them. Even the dirtbag Russian leader before, you start to like give a shit. I'm like, okay, he is legitimately bettering himself. Not that it erases his previous bullshit, but you're like, okay, he's attempting, right? And there's like a charm to that. It definitely has me curious to see how it continues. I'm kind of like jumping back and forth between recommending and not recommending it, but I definitely recommend it. I think they're like 10 episodes each season, if that, or maybe a little more. 40 to like an hour in terms of runtime for each episode. I still think it's great. It's just I think this was like the last. Like I'm expecting next season to be it, like the finale or something crazy happens, because near the end of this season it just started becoming. All right, what are they up to now, right? Instead of like a huge thing they're building towards. I don't know. We'll see. Like this one kind of left me wanting more in a negative way. Like it's like, okay, we're kind of playing it safe in a way, where the first one was like, oh shit, like are they going to be able to pull this off? And now it's like, okay, this is the aftermath of that, and now we're kind of playing it safe. So hopefully the next season there's like more oomph, but we'll see. And I don't even know how to. I'm not even gonna end it with a recommendation. I'm just like, give it a shot, I guess, but I'm not sure if it's for everyone, right? The pacing isn't like too fast.
Everyone.
Who ripped that off recently? That we all talked.
Don't Breathe 2.
Don't Breathe 2. Yes, who ripped it off? Ugh, we'll get to that next week. We didn't put it on here, but for next week we can review Don't Breathe 2. I think that's it for what we consumed, right? Unless I'm missing something here. Nope. That's about it. Any news besides the raid stuff? I don't have any other news.
This week the 2 characters for Melty Blood, the DLC that's free, come out.
You gonna be playing that this week on stream or
Yeah, on Friday.
nice Friday fight nights?
Oh, so are we still watching
We still have to watch Witcher.
that and Eternals?
Oh, and Eternals comes out. Is it this week? It comes out on digital.
Yeah, Wednesday.
Oh, whenever we watch that, I don't know when because we still need to watch Witcher. So, and that's a longer investment in time. Kelsey in the chat says yes, but how much is Skullgirls? Brian, you're up.
It's back to regular price, so I think it's like is it 20 or $25 now.
I thought the season pass was $25.
No, the season pass is like 30 something.
Okay.
Nah, I'm loading up Steam. I gotta know. I gotta let the people
Quadruple
know.
check, right? Yeah, that's true.
Gotta let the people know.
Let them know. Anywho, while you do that, yeah, I don't know, Randall. I don't have a timetable on that stuff. So we do need to watch. That's the only MCU movie I haven't seen is the Eternals. So, or I guess MCU content. Because I think, oh no, that's a lie. I didn't watch Iron Fist.
It's not an MCU though. It's just
No,
Marvel.
it is. Because I mean, now that spoilers, now that we have our Daredevil and he's been on screen with him, that's all canon, right? That kind of links them together.
God, I hope not.
Skullgirls at regular price is 25. I don't remember if that's what I said.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you did. So yeah, technically they're all linked. So I think that's our Iron Fist, unless they change them for some reason. Anyway, but on the bright side, that's our Punisher, which I'm okay with Barenthal.
I need to watch the second season of that. I need to watch the last season of Jessica Jones, and I think I've caught up with the Netflix MCU.
Gotcha.
I think that's everything. That's the only things I missed.
Yeah, you already watched Luke Cage second season, and you saw Iron Fist, so
Yeah, I saw all of Daredevil.
Yep.
Third season's the best season.
it's a good job. Good work. Good
Jessica
soup.
Jones' first 2 seasons. Watched The Defenders. Fucking
And the
dog
Defenders,
shit.
yeah. Oh, you didn't like the Defenders?
No.
Oh. All right. Where we at here? Releases. We got 2 big ones this week. We have the PC port of God of War coming out Friday, which that has me thinking of doing a replay of it because man, that game was great. And then we have the Anacrusis. I don't know how to pronounce it. The Anacrusis. Coming out on Game Pass Early Access, I guess. So it's on Game Pass.
Oh, cool.
For
For PC or just console?
Good question. I think it's for both, but I haven't confirmed. The Anacrusis is a 4-player Left 4 Dead type of game, but you take place in this like 60s, 70s aesthetic on a cruise ship, and you're shooting like weird alien things. That's pretty much all I have on it at the moment. Kind of going in blind, and then God of War. I mean, arguably game of the year for the year that it came out in. I think it was 2019, right? Or 2020.
Which game?
God of War. Let me double click on it. I can just see when it was released.
Wasn't it like 2018 or something?
What? 2018?
I don't know.
No, Brian, there's no way it was 2018. God of War. Oh my God, 2018, you got it.
I'm just
You're
naturally
just the best, dude.
Remember, I'm a variant from the future.
That's true.
So
That's true. Wow, they come out 4 years ago. Cool. Well, it's released on PC this Friday, so if you got a beefy PC and you want to see some really good visuals, I highly recommend picking that up. I didn't see anything on movies besides Eternals, but I thought that was not this week. But Eternals is coming out on Disney Plus. And then the other movies on that list, I was like, I don't know what that is. So, and for music, we have Earl Sweatshirt finally dropping some more album or more music. I don't know where he's been, but I don't know if he's been like helping with producing or something. I don't know what I haven't seen his name in a while. So good thing he's dropping up more work. Brian, you're muted, I think.
no, I was reading someone's name in the music thing, and I'm trying to figure out why it sounds familiar.
What is it?
FKA Twigs.
That sounded familiar too, but I just didn't. I didn't look it up. I thought it was like a European rap, like a Euro
It is.
rapper.
It's I don't know if she's a rapper or not, but I know she's a European artist.
Okay, that might be up your alley.
I need to go there at least once in my life.
I mean, you got plenty of time.
Somewhere in Europe, kids. Save money.
Yeah, save money, but land anywhere in Fortnite. But don't save your money. And you have a
Mhm.
yearly income for Christmas presents.
Mm-hmm.
Ask for gift cards.
But the second you spend all your money, remember, go back in time, restart it.
Yeah, when you're broke, go back. Anywho,
There's a video or a skit of Caleb City where he quick saves, and it's somebody trying to rob the house. So every time they try to defeat the person, they lose. So they just revert back to the quick save and try to stop them again.
quick save.
Also, rest in peace, Bob Saget. Maybe that's why I keep doing kids monologues.
Oh, maybe because he does say kids from
And
How I
he
Met Your
died
Mother.
young. He was only 65.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, did we get a
Cause of death.
cause of death? Now that it's
I
been
don't
24
remember.
hours.
I saw that Betty White's was revealed.
What was hers?
What was
I
it?
think it was a stroke.
Damn, that sucks.
I think it was a stroke. Again, I wouldn't fight anyone for this answer, but I think that's what I saw.
Is there an update here, or
What do you mean?
I'm look for see if there's an update?
I doubt it's going to be like a day. Probably later this week.
Okay. Oh, okay. I guess we'll figure it out. That sucks. Yeah, so rest in peace, Bob Saget. Okay. I don't have anything else, but Randall, what you doing this week?
What am I doing this week? I'm probably going to continue cleaning and throwing stuff away.
Okay.
I plan to have that stuff done at least by Wednesday. What am I going to do? Work on my clothing line. Work out. I might do some art, but I'm not sure what.
What else do you think you might do?
I'm assuming we're either gonna watch Witcher or whatever movie this weekend.
Praying
Oh.
is what I was alluding to. I even did this. Right.
I wasn't looking.
How dare you?
And I might after this podcast, I'm gonna try to see if I can load up the game, Witcher game.
Okay.
I think that's it.
All right. Brian, what you got doing planned this week?
That was today Monday.
Today's Monday, yes, Brian.
I'm not streaming Tuesdays and Thursdays. That's me time. Fuck off. And then Wednesday though, right? For sure, we're gonna be doing something. And then on
Wildlands, Brian.
Friday, I don't know if you're like, yo, I gotta play.
Okay.
But then on Friday, I'm gonna play some Melty Blood with a friend of mine because I think they're trying to take the game seriously. So no one plays zoners. You know, apparently that's outlawed. Everybody wants to rush down and press all the fucking buttons.
Yes,
so,
that's how you play any video game.
Try to help them with some zoners, some
Yes.
zoner matchups, and with the new with the new characters coming out, one of them seems like a zoner, so I want to try her.
Cool.
That's probably what I'll stream that out unless OBS disrespects me again.
I mean, just if I can see my phone in time, I'll just let me know. I'll try to help you fix it.
Man, then I don't know what my weekend consists of. That's the game plan.
Okay.
Hey, Anthony.
What's up?
What are you doing?
Oh, snap. This week, what am I doing? Tomorrow I'm definitely continuing my playthrough of Hunt Down because that game is super fun. It has outrageous names for the enemies, and it's just a good time. It has quite the vibe, right? So I had a lot of fun last week playing it, so I'm gonna continue playing through that. And then Wednesday we're definitely playing Wildlands, continuing that, clearing out the map as we were doing. Hopefully staying away from menus because that's obviously my detriment. And then Thursday, I don't know. Janana, what are we playing Thursday? She's in the middle of playing some Resident Evil 5 right now. She don't got time for this.
You gonna FIO?
What?
Figure it out.
Are you serious?
Yeah, we'll figure it out, I guess. Right?
That's my acronym. I'm thinking of bullshit acronyms.
I just saw
That's my
Janana's
acronym.
pro face just now.
What? She look like this?
Yeah, I just
Does
saw
she turn
her.
like this? She want?
She gave me I'm in complete concentration. I gotta get this shot, or I'm not winning the money ball. She went like this
Oh shit!
in there. Look at her,
Are you done?
so cute. All
Are you
right,
done?
When are you gonna make esports jersey merch?
esports jersey merch.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. What are we doing Thursday? What game are we playing Thursday?
Last name.
Whatever you want.
She gave me I don't know. So we'll figure it out on Thursday. Oh, we'll figure
Does
it
she
out.
own Skullgirls?
Whatever you
You guys come up with a name for y'all? For y'all?
We already put World War Z.
Yeah, we finished World War Z. The finale went up today, on Monday. I guess if you're listening to the podcast, we finished it. Awesome. I'm probably gonna keep playing it to max out all the classes and stuff, but that'll be an off-stream thing. Unless when I'm done with my backlog in 2073, and you know. Nando, what was your question?
Hmm?
You asked a question. You said our name? What is our name?
Yeah. Because I know you and Brian have, what is it called?
Well, Brian made
Uh-huh.
that up. Brian had made a bro op for the for the brother co-op.
Yeah.
I don't know. We haven't made a name for our segment. Love op. She smiled and said yes.
What?
I didn't say anything.
She didn't say anything. I'm sorry. I said love op, Brian or Randall.
No.
Oh, okay, well then Brian made up his. Like,
I mean, let me.
Bro op?
what happened?
I said bro op sounds cool though.
Oh wow! So what I made is
All
not
you
cool.
did was just switch out bro with love.
Copying him. You have to come up with something more.
Now she also said that I'm just copying him. All right, so I'm just gonna get tag team here until I can't breathe.
Don't say that.
Yeah, I don't have a name. We don't have a name for our streams yet. Besides Love Op, asterisk pending title.
I'll just will come into your stream and then I'll analyze the vibes. You feel me? I'll be up here like, and then I'll see if I can come up with a name for you guys.
Gotcha.
'Cause I'm the best. Remember, I'm from the future and I'm a variant. So,
You have quite
but
the
at the same
resume.
time,
Okay.
I'm only Iron in Valorant. So
I need to try to see what I never played Valorant, and every time I see it, I'm like, I should try this, just to see if I also get iron. But
did you enjoy CS:GO?
yeah, but CS:GO doesn't have the
Did you enjoy Overwatch?
Yes,
Do you think you would enjoy a fusion of those?
probably not, because I've seen gameplay of Valorant, and there's too many things that fuck me. Right, like, oh, you're stunned, you can't play for 20 seconds, or you're blind, you can't see for 30 seconds. I'm like, yo, the only thing that should be blinding me are flashbangs, right?
Yeah.
Not, hey, there's an orb that came in front of me from 2 miles away, or, oh, look, I'm shooting through a wall, or, hey, I can see you through a mile away because I have there's too much. That's probably why I play it. There's too much, right? That's just me. Especially for it to be round based. Like, it was cool in Overwatch because you just spawn right away. Oh, you died because fucking, and then you're like, oh, let me restart, pick a different character to hard counter, and you're good. Don't you have to stick with the same character for 20 rounds? Yeah, like, no, I don't think that game is not for me.
It's free if you ever want to try it.
That's
I mean,
true.
I don't think you'll like it. I play it just because it's something to play with a friend of mine.
So
I don't like get hard of the idea of playing the game, but I mean, it's enjoyable. Just it's also frustrating with certain things that I've rented at multiple times, but I won't now.
Nah, I'm cool. At that point, just play arena mode for Apex. Like that's free to play, good modes. What the hell was that movement, Randall? Brian? Yeah, okay. It looks like your mustache was alive.
You never made your lip fly?
Nah, I don't got lips.
I expected to look back at you, and where your mouth is another eye.
I just quickly hit a button that just like you know how they have like the filters and Snapchat and stuff. It just removes my lips.
When's the next nose stream?
Nose stream? I should have a button that zooms in directly to my nose. I need to make a button that just fucks with the stream. Like it'll be because you can with the stream deck you can put a random function, and then you can put a list of actions that'll randomly swap between. So I just need one that just like hits random 6 times. It'll like zoom into my nose. The blowfish thing comes up for a second, inverts the color. So it looks like one of them, you know how it's like bright white inversion of the color stuff?
What you should do for this button is one, either have it immediately do something random, or you press it, and you know how like when you hit a item block in Mario Kart, it's when it finishes and it gets to the thing, it immediately plays that.
I understand. That is really good. I like that part. I want to see if that has to be something external I have to set up. I don't think that... She's too busy shooting people with her thang. She has the infinite ammo of like Magnum. So
Wow.
she's got her thang out just fucking everything up.
Hey, does she own Skullgirls? I'm asking for a friend.
Bitches don't even stand.
I don't think she owns Skullgirls at all.
Okay, because I feel like it's illegal if it goes on sale and I don't buy it for someone.
Got it. She does not. She just confirmed. So if you see it on
Interesting.
sale, send her a
Interesting.
copy.
How
That's
many copies has he bought?
He's bought a lot of copies already. Even I
Interesting.
bought a second copy for someone who said he was going to grab it if certain stipulation. So I just rerouted that stipulation, just gave him a copy.
You were talking? Do you know what I was doing? This.
Yeah.
What?
No, she said as I was talking, I wasn't looking at her, obviously, I was talking to you. But while I was talking to her about the Skullgirls thing, she was doing this. So for a video, let's watch
In my game.
to the boss that she just killed in Resident Evil 5. Anyway.
Alright.
This game is like so. Like nobody likes this game, but
I like that game. Me and Brian started that game, and then I left him behind in it.
5?
Yeah.
Oh, I've never beat the game because you did that.
Played the whole way through.
Brian's multiple occasions told you that he'll play with you because he wants to finish it.
But like, does he care if I have my infinite thing? Is he like
Do you care that she has her infinite thing?
Did she just ask me? Did she just ask me if I care about someone shooting endlessly?
You can't. We can't join in. Because we have to invite you to the group chat.
Oh, sorry.
It's not an exclusive thing. It's just that we'd have to invite you into it, and you'd
So what did he say that repeat?
He said that did you ask him that if he has a problem with someone shooting infinitely?
Okay. Well, I didn't know if he wanted to experience the difficulty.
And Brian,
Because right now, look.
Do I also get infinite bullets?
you do not. He asked if he gets infinite bullets. He does not, unless he buys it.
I don't think so.
No, he does not.
Well, maybe
Okay.
if he joins my
Wait. What if I split screen? Like, what if I do and then I'm there? I'm like, what's bracket?
Oh, that could probably work if you
Do I-
parsecs, and then now it's basically split screen.
Oh yeah.
That'll work, and you probably have infinite time.
So I will get infinite bullets as well.
Better, right?
Say again.
Like he can join me and because I have two
Infinite weapons.
handguns that are infinite, and then I have my thing.
So basically, she has 2 infinite handguns and her infinite thing. So what would probably happen is you have to parsec into hers as a split screen person, and you just give him your.
Okay, but
You're
so now
done.
question 2 then. If her and I play, can
Yeah.
I be Sheva?
Yes, she loves Redfield. She's not gonna pick Sheva.
So she doesn't care if I pick Sheva?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, she doesn't give a single fuck. She just confirmed. Yeah, that's be
I
Sheva.
was
She wants to be Redfield.
I'm always
Interesting.
Redfield. I always looking at his arms from behind my controller.
Well, we can't say that on here. That's perverted.
Look, all I'm saying is, this could be content for Extra Life 2022.
That's true. Extra Life 2022. There you go. We already solidified a block of the.
Tell her to put her. Hold on.
What's up?
Tell her to put her hand out.
Oh, put your hand out towards the camera. You need to shake on it. This is the great content for the audio listeners. You gotta come. You gotta come a lot closer. It's out. There it is. Shake.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh my God. I saw him look down and I can hear him laugh. Oh,
Holy shit! You fucking got her. I don't know.
She got coastered.
Yeah. He said you got coastered. All right. All right. I think that's it for this podcast that we've been shenanigans about. I don't think that's a real word now. That might have said a curse word. Shenanigans. Anywho.
Yeah, I forgot to buy the fucking Hydra.
We'll be out, I guess, for the podcast. We'll be back next week. We have a bunch of stuff to go over. I don't know what I'm going to choose because we watched a bunch during the holiday. But probably the French Dispatch I'm definitely going to review because we watched that recently and I liked it a lot. So, oh wow, this fell down. I'll do this afterwards, I guess. This is still, yeah. I dropped the adapter for the mouse. So, here we are. Anyway, that's it for this episode. We'll be back next week. Bye.